7 cities built
by JT.
For the Seattle Sonics, the NBA playoffs have been a place where championship dreams have ended abruptly and painfully. The past 2 years have seen Seattle's high expectations erased by embarrassing first-round defeats. Each bitter loss leaving their title aspirations little more than a distant image. But this year has been different. The Sonics overcame their first-round barrier, then surged to sweep the defending world champions. Now they stand just 2 wins away from the NBA Finals, a plateau that once seemed unattainable. For John Stockton and Karl Malone, there have been countless great moments in careers that one day will lead them to the Hall of Fame. But for all the triumph they've shared, the ultimate prize, an NBA championship, has eluded them, with each year's playoff journey ending in defeat and frustration. Facing yet another season gone wrong, the Utah Jazz rallied on Friday, taking Game 3 of this series from Seattle to set up today's crucial matchup. Can Seattle put a stranglehold on the series, or will Utah pull even? Both have lived through nightmares to reach this point. For one, defeat will be crushing, but for the other, an NBA title shot beckons.
This is the NBA on NBC. The 1996 NBA Conference Finals.
Welcome to the Delta Center in Salt Lake City for Game 4 of the Western Conference Finals between the Seattle Sonics and the Utah Jazz. There is a renewed enthusiasm and attitude here in Salt Lake City. Things weren't so rosy when Seattle took the first 2 games of this series in the Northwest, but now, with a victory on Friday night, it seems the Sonics will not hog this series. It's 2-1, and the chance to pull even for Utah today. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Utah, along with Steve Jones and Bill Walton. I'm Greg Gumbel. NBA basketball this time of year is all about matchups, and we have some superb matchups to watch in this series. We'll begin at the point guard with 2 of the premier players in the game today, in Utah's John Stockton and Seattle's Gary Payton. Payton has dominated so far. Stockton, most everyone suspects, is injured. Stockton will not discuss it, but we asked teammate Karl Malone about it.
If people only knew he's taken a beating in the press, you know. And I'll say this, 90% of the guys in this league, or 95, wouldn't have played. And he's playing. So right when I say he can't impress me, he impressed me again.
And not only has he impressed his teammates, he has also impressed his coach, Gary Sloan, who is of a similar mind. No excuses. You come out and you find a way to win. The Seattle Supersonics are well aware that Stockton is not 100%, but he's a very dangerous player, and when he's out on the floor, the Jazz are a difficult opponent to put away, so they want no excuses as well. They'll attack John Stockton this afternoon, Greg.
All right, Steve. Meanwhile, the other matchup to watch is at the forward position between 2 of the game's great scorers. Karl Malone of the Utah Jazz, Sean Kemp of the Seattle Sonics. Kemp's numbers have dwindled as this game has progressed, and he was not impressive. In a 20-point loss on Friday night, George Karl's looking for solutions.
Stop fouling and rebound the ball. I mean, it's about 1950 that was written in a book in basketball that if you foul, you can't run. And if you don't rebound, you can't get a transitional situation. We've been dominated in both areas in the last 2 games. They've been to the foul line too many times. And in the second halves of both games, they've out-rebounded us by double digits. So I think we've got to be aware of that. I think we've got to be more concerned in those fundamental areas.
George Karl has the luxury that Sean Kemp does not have to guard Karl Malone, thus saving offensive energy for game heroics like in the late stages of Game 2. Karl Malone's dominating personality, though, has been pervasive throughout the Western Conference playoffs. And unless Sean Kemp and his other front court mates come up and respond to that challenge and take on Karl Malone, they're going to be in for a very long afternoon, Greg.
All right, Bill, Utah looks to even the series with a 2nd straight win today. Keep in mind, the Sonics have not lost 2 straight since November the 21st, 187 days ago. starting lineups and the opening tip when we come back to the Delta Center in Salt Lake City in just a moment.
It's equal parts sweat and steel, with ice thrown in for blood. It's margins of air measured in hundredths of an inch. It's decisions made in the split of a second. And pain endured for the length of a day. And at the finish, you're either toasting victory or getting set to do it all over again next week. It's auto racing, the way we do it on the Miller team.
I was strong as I could be. I go around. Nothing ever got to me.
Vortec, the most powerful line of engines ever in a Chevy truck.
I go around.
Chevy, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
The NBA on NBC is brought to you by New Miller Beer, the brand new beer from Miller with big flavor that goes down easy. By Chevrolet Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. And by McDonald's, the official break of the NBA. Have you had your break today?
Welcome back to Salt Lake City, everyone, for Game 4 of the Western Conference Finals between Utah and Seattle. And let's take a look at the starting lineup. First of all, for the Seattle Sonics, 64-18 on the regular season. A lineup you are quite used to by now. Outstanding backcourt. Gary Payton and Hersey Hawkins team up there, while up front, Irvin Johnson is in the middle, flanked by Sean Kemp and Detlef Schrempf. The head coach of the Seattle Sonics in his 4th full year in Seattle, George Karl. For the Utah Jazz, winners of 55 games during the regular season and 7-0 at home in each playoff, the starting lineup, Jeff Hornacek and John Stockton make up the backcourt, while up front, Felton Spencer is in the middle. He's flanked by Chris Morris and Karl Malone. In his 8th season as the head coach of the Utah Jazz, Jerry Sloan. Before we tip it off, let's go over to Hannah Storm. Hannah.
I want to clarify the injury status of Gary Payton, who caused quite a stir when he was spotted at a local hospital yesterday. Payton injured his calf during the Houston series. During a practice, he suffered from cramping in the calf, but the team says he received normal treatment at the hospital here yesterday, and they deny reports that the calf is torn. Some good did come out of this injury. After spending extra time at the gym over the last few weeks because of treatment, Gary decided to do a little jump shooting to pass the time. Well, that turned into a daily ritual over the last couple of weeks with assistant coach Tim Bergerich, where Payton is shooting 400 to 500 extra jump shots each night about 8 p.m. as he did last night. It certainly helped his jump shooting and given him a new offensive weapon in this series. Greg?
All right, Hannah, Hugh Evans, Ron Garrison, Bennett Salvatore, the officials in the opening tap to the Seattle Sonics.
The adjustments Seattle has to make is on the offensive end. They've got to take advantage of their quickness and improve their spacing.
Errant pass in the middle, taken away by the Jazz. One of the noisiest buildings in the NBA, the Delta Center, in full support of their Utah Jazz. Nice. The switch. Spencer. Spencer again. Blocked by Johnson. Picked off by Kemp.
Spencer, he's a power player and is still suffering from coming back from the Achilles. 2 chances gone awry. They'd like to get him in the ball game, get something from him early. If they don't, Jerry Sloan comes back with Russell and puts Karl Malone in the middle.
Schrempf looking for Payton down low. Turnaround. And Spencer with another rebound. Malone with the turnaround.
The Sonics were talking about how Karl Malone has improved his outside jumping over the course of his career.
Kemp with the miss, Malone with the rebound.
And everything for Seattle fading away. Exploit Detlef Schrempf's advantages. No one can stop him out here.
Malone on the move comes up short. And Chris Morris back outside for Hornacek. Stockton open.
Now Stockton could not make the shot in game 3. Still is not able to pass from the outside. But Malone gets the rebound, and the dominant team in white is really off to a great start here at home.
Chris Morris three-pointer, no. And Kemp knocks it out of bounds. The Utah Jazz very active on the offensive boards here early on.
And look at the difference between the two styles of attack. Everything for Utah is going to the basket. Seattle fading away.
Seattle in game 3 had great success shooting the ball early outside, and that's what got them in trouble. That's what they hope to change this afternoon.
We're only 2 minutes into this game. Utah's already gotten 8 shots off.
Is it me or is it loud in here?
It's you. It is loud. Stockton looks down low to Spencer. And finally gets it to him. And Spencer will go to the line.
You talked a moment ago about Felton Spencer recovering from that Achilles tendon surgery. 2 years ago in the playoffs, the guy averaged 8 points and 8.5 rebounds. Last year didn't play at all because of those surgeries. This year, even though he's played in all the playoff games, just 3 points, 3.5 rebounds. Not enough out of a quality player.
Jazz lead it 4-0. Spencer now on Kemp. And Kemp powers his way to the middle, and a whistle blows before the move. Spencer will draw his first.
What Felton Spencer gives him is not only 6 fouls, but a big body, and he will lay more than one lick on Shawn Kemp before this afternoon is over, trying to close down the middle.
This time Malone on Kemp. Malone went for the steal. Kemp comes back hard, offensive foul.
Very tough ball against Seattle and Shawn Kemp. They had 10 offensive fouls in game 3.
I don't know if that was stuff. That big house was there. It had been planted for about a week.
Malone with the ball away. Front rim. Hawkins with the board. Payton back in a hurry, and down low to Irvin Johnson, who spins, had it stripped by Malone. Hornacek for 3. (7-0) Utah.
Detlef Schrempf has not had an offensive opportunity.
Gary Payton will draw the foul, and Felton Spencer at 2 on him.
Karl Malone has been very good at this his entire career, and Irvin Johnson doesn't see much of it. At the other end, you've got to stay with Hornacek, who was terrific in game 3, 28 points, and the bench. Hey, we're in this game today, guys.
Jeff Hornacek shooting 61% from behind the three-point line for the postseason.
So much concern about Gary Payton at the free throw line's leg. Here's a guy who played the playoffs last year with a broken hand, never missed a game. Here's a guy who almost broke his ankle last year in the regular season, never missed a game. He's as tough as they come.
Far side, tapped out of bounds, and that's off the Jazz. It'll be Seattle ball.
That's where Stockton has been making his mistakes and reading, and he's been trying to go cross court. That's what the Sonics want. That's where they're stepping the passing lane.
8 minutes to play in the first. Percy Hawkins, and there's an illegal defense call against Utah. That's our first of the game.
Illegal defense warning to the Jazz, and illegal defense warning to the Jazz.
Seattle had 6 illegal defenses in Game 3. Percy Hawkins telling me before the game today he's got to make Hornacek play some defense. He's given him the first 3 games off, basically, on this end of the court.
Hawkins. His three-pointer doesn't go. Irvin Johnson with the rebound. And down low to Kemp.
Looks like he lost the ball on the way up and still grabbed it and dunked it.
7-4, Jazz by 3.
The Jazz are a great front-running team, and with this crowd and the noise that we hear this afternoon, the Sonics know that they have to stay in the game. They cannot afford to see fouls, bad decisions with the ball take place.
Welcome to the illegal defense derby. One goes against Seattle now.
Greg, it's hard to get a sense of just how tall Detlef Schrempf and Irvin Johnson are from watching on television. These guys tower over their individual opponents.
Hornacek. Utah. Kemp again down low as Malone hit the deck.
When they won in Game 1, he was 9 for 9, and he was inside. He's trying to have this repeat performance here in Game 4. Foul trouble has been his problems in Games 2 and 3.
Malone, off balance, thought he was fouled. Sonics with the basketball. Long outlet for Schrempf. And Detlef Schrempf with his first point of the afternoon. And the Sonics close to within 1.
A little bit of confusion for Chris Morrison setting up, and they've taken more time than they want. They're going to get a foul against Sean Kemp.
That's 2 on Kemp. Timeout on the floor. 6:24 to play in the first. You're watching the NBA on NBC.
Of all the things trucks can do, there's one thing that's never been done before. Only Chevy trucks have ever won back-to-back Motor Trend Truck of the Year awards.
What do you get when you cross a high-quality conventional motor oil with an advanced formula synthetic? A revolutionary oil that protects better than regular oils, yet costs less than full synthetics. Durablend from Valvoline. Valvoline's the #1 choice of top mechanics.
It's mine. It's all mine. They have now entered
What? This is impossible. How can they do this? Stop. Stop.
Every day, MasterCard opens over 3,000 new acceptance locations worldwide.
Oh, at least we still have Cochabamba.
No! MasterCard. It's smart money.
You know, today would be perfect to take your kid to McDonald's.
Hello?
Hi, honey.
Hi, Dad.
How about lunch?
Introducing the burger with the grown-up taste. McDonald's Arch Deluxe.
Goodyear AquaTread revolutionized wet traction design. Now Goodyear introduces the first tire with a lifetime tread life warranty. The new all-season InfiniTread. Its tread is guaranteed for as long as you own your car. Call 1-800-GOODYEAR.
Right now, get a $40 introductory manufacturer's rebate from Goodyear when you buy 4 InfiniTread radials, Goodyear's longest-wearing passenger tire. That's $40 on 4 Goodyear InfiniTreads. But hurry, this Goodyear offer ends soon.
Little hometown sentiment for Karl Malone. Little difference of opinion on that last foul call, Bill.
The Sonics have been complaining, but they'll be getting the short end of the stick. And Sean Kemp gets called for a foul right there. He's just standing there. And Karl Malone comes over and runs into him. Now you got your star forward with 2 fouls. At the other end, Karl Malone reaches in playing defense with his chin. No call.
When a man gets hit, he gets hit. And Sean Kemp delivered 2 elbows, got away with one, got called. Problem again for him on the bench early, and that is a sad note for George Karl.
Sam Perkins off the Seattle bench and into the lineup. And a whistle blows, and this one is going to go against Irvin Johnson, and he can't believe it. That's number 2 on Johnson.
Setting screens is what sets up most of the problems, and Irvin Johnson, trying to get away from Hornacek, picks up the personal foul. The guards frustrate the big men more than Karl Malone.
So Stockman and Karl Malone about to go into a little 2-man game. Chris Morris makes the jumper, drove, and missed the stuff.
It has not been a good series for Chris Morris. He was terrific for Utah in a couple of the games against San Antonio. Got him this far, but you got to keep playing.
Defensively, Utah much more active and aggressive at the start of this game than they were in Game 3.
Perkins, just as the shot clock winds down, hits the suit. And the Sonics with their first lead of the game at 10-9.
Sean Kemp, Sam Perkins had his first 4 game of the playoffs. Game 3 Friday night. Look for him to rebound terrifically today. Nice entry pass.
Malone across the lane, puts it up too hard. Stockton has the offensive board back outside for Morris. New 24 for the Jazz.
Chris Morris has passed up on a couple of wide open threes trying to get to the hoop.
Chris Morris is trying to stay in the game. He has been in Jerry Sloan's doghouse, and he's trying to get a rhythm, really try to do some good things at both ends of the floor. His attention is always at the offensive end, so he's trying to be conservative right now.
And Perkins will go to the line after drawing the foul on the shot attempt. A couple of substitutions now off the bench. Antoine Carr into the lineup for Utah as Spencer goes to the bench with his 3rd personal. Howard Isley replaces John Stockton.
Spencer played and expended 3 fouls, as he will if you come around him. He's going to make some contact, but they get Carr in, and Carr is a better offensive player for them. Doesn't quite have the size.
Sonics lead is now 2 as Stockton takes a seat on the bench. Also into the game, Frank Brakowski off the Seattle bench.
In a series like this, with the strengths of these teams at the power forward and the point guard position, the centers become so much less important. So guys like Irvin Johnson and Felton Spencer can foul out, and that gives the opportunities for Perkins and Antoine Carr.
Utah, after jumping to a big lead, has gone cold the last few minutes. Malone.
Karl Malone in every game has had a slow start because he hasn't decided how he wants to attack the opposition. Generally has a big second half, but they need him big early this afternoon.
Shrimp spins on his man and draws the foul from Chris Morris.
Number 43, Chris Morris with his first.
And now the Energizer, as Steve Jones calls him, Brian Russell off the Utah bench as you take a look at the foul on Detlef Shrimp by Morris.
Jerry Sloan was singing the praises yesterday as Byron Russell's numbers in this series. Brian Russell, excuse me.
So Payton's going to go to work now one-on-one on Hornacek. Hard, high off the glass, and back comes Isley. Sonics 3-point lead. They have outscored the Jazz 12-2 over the last few minutes, and Brakowski draws the foul as Malone will go to the line. Frank Brakowski coming over to us prior to the game and asking Steve Jones, what did I ever do to you to have you talk about me like that?
Frank has been known as a guy that puts the hammer on you whenever he comes out on the floor, wastes no time in picking up his first personal foul, but actually that was the excellence of Karl Malone. Malone, as big a body as we've seen at the power forward position, knows how to get fouls, and he was on his way to the basket before Brakowski could even get set.
Brakowski has an unjust reputation on being unjust reputation, just the facts of being a hatchet man. This guy is a skilled player with a solid game.
Well, it's important to note he showed up and berated Steve Jones, but he never denied it. Meanwhile, shooting 59% from the line for the playoffs, Karl Malone goes 0 for 2.
Nice pass.
Oh, Payton to a wide-open Burkowski. 14-9.
Again, the quickness of the Sonics, which Jerry Sloan's so concerned about, basically in every position.
Trying to get Malone untracked here, and they'll come back to him inside. This is where somebody will get a shot because they're going to tip it in.
Howard Isley breaks the spell, the cold spell that Utah had been suffering from. We're under 3:20 to play in the first. Sonics by 3.
Get it into Detlef Schrempf. You've got 6 inches on Brian Russell.
But Russell has done a good job because he plays a little cat and mouse with them and is aggressive out on the outside.
Payton with the turnaround off the baseline. That's no good. Tap up, no good. Rebound. Hornacek. And Hornacek will push it in a hurry. Isley looks down low to Malone.
Well, he's got a mismatch with Burkowski, and he's trying to get by him. Finally does. Doesn't finish.
And Antoine Carr with the rebound. Sonics by 1.
Carr has been absolutely fabulous the last couple of games on the defensive end as well.
There's a matchup that you want, but they haven't been able to take advantage of it.
Hornacek with the steal. The give for Malone. Once this ball comes over center court, Seattle will call time. The Jazz have scored 6 straight points, and with 2:11 to play in the first quarter, the fans once again on their feet as Utah has regained the lead. It's 15-14. Utah looking to pull even at 2 games apiece in this best-of-7 Western Conference Final. You're watching the NBA on NBC.
In a dangerous world, courage. Stop them. You're the only one who can. Is a phantom.
I killed him years ago. Well, guess what? He's back.
There are those who say he is only a myth. Soon they will discover the Phantom is real. Rated PG. At theaters everywhere. June 7th.
I do not drive to work. I do not drive to get from point A to point B. I do not drive to run away from the world. I just love to drive.
The new 1996 Monte Carlo. Personal space from genuine Chevrolet. The cars more Americans trust. See your Chevy dealer for special 4.8% APR financing on Monte Carlo.
That isn't the last one, is it?
Yeah, why?
Did I mention that I found the negatives from your bachelor party?
Yeah. Shame if Carla found out about that whole Niagara thing.
Can you say cubic zirconia?
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Rum service?
To whom it may concern, I've always loved the summer games. The running, the jumping. It's all good. Even the shot put thing is pretty cool, too. Still, somehow, I can't help feeling there's something missing. Me. And that's why I think football should be an official event of the summer games. Let's have a meeting and put this together. That's my dream, and this is my plan.
Next weekend, Swedish sensation Annika Sorenstam defends her title against a stellar field at the U.S. Women's Open. Next weekend on NBC.
Well, Brian Russell is scoreless so far today, but in Game 3, he came off the bench to score a career-high 24. You take a look at the press guide, and his call is, Brian, don't call me Byron Russell. And we asked him yesterday, who calls you Byron?
Oh, man. A lot of people, TNT, ESPN, all the reporters around town, and a couple of guys on NBC, I'm not sure. I'm not you guys, but... You know, I mean, everybody does it every now and then, some players, but it doesn't bother me anymore. As long as you guys get it right, and I'm fine with it.
And, of course, Bill Walton just called him Byron just a few moments ago. Frank Burkowski with the miss.
And I rehearsed that all night long. That's what's sad.
It's the pressure. It's the intimidating building.
It's the playoffs. Coming up on a minute 45 to play here in the first quarter. The shot clock down to 6. Malone deep in the corner. Shot clock at 3.
They got them out of their set, and they got to hoist one up.
Oh, Antoine Carr hits the turnaround. The Jazz by 3. And Russell with the steal.
There's that slow passing that George Karl was talking to us about.
Russell got caught in the air. McMillan picked it off.
He wanted to shoot. He desperately wanted to shoot and didn't decide to play team basketball and made a mistake, but he has been terrific here in this building for Jerry Sloan.
A little give and go between Sam Perkins and Gary Payton. And Ron Garrettson blows a whistle. He's pointing to this end of the court, but not quite sure what.
Game clock knocked down, actually put back some time for the Utah Jazz.
Now we got things right. Clock continues to roll. We come up on 50 seconds to play in the first quarter.
Play 2 for 1. Get your shot at 40 seconds. That's 7 seconds from now.
For Malone. And Askew came over to knock it out of bounds.
It's a lazy, slow pass on the entry to Karl Malone. That ball's got to be zipped in there.
43.5 on the game clock. Hornacek. Asked Jeff Hornacek yesterday what it's like when he's in one of those grooves. He says everything is in slow motion.
Being in the zone.
In the illegal defense, Russell did not go all the way over. Went just far enough to get in the passing lane of Sam Perkins, but not quite far enough to prevent an illegal defense. So Perkins will shoot it. Jerry Sloan will continue this, but if you take a look from up top, watch Russell drop down, but not go and double team the ball. That's where the illegal defense takes place.
Oh, Perkins, front rim, not even close.
Greg, you mentioned your conversation with Hornacek about being in the zone and people are being in slow motion. It's not only that. It seems like the basket is as big as the ocean. Everything you throw up goes in. It seems like the crowd is in a whole other building. It's a special feeling.
Half a minute to play. And Bennett Salvatore blows a whistle down low. Hornacek, his first.
You know, Hornacek and Stockton have that choir boy look, but they will push and shove and grab as much as any players in the league. And that's part of what makes them successful. They will fight you for everything and trying to keep Payton from getting around the screen. He picks up the personal.
Were you ever accused of having a choir boy look, Steve?
No.
He was a choir boy, though. I was his teammate once. But I did used to beat him to church every day.
Must have been on the way home. 19-17, Utah by 2, last 20 seconds of the first.
Trying to get Hornacek open.
Wow. You're talking about Hornacek facing up the defensive player of the year. The last 2 baskets right in Gary Payton's face.
5 seconds to play. McMillan with Carr all over him. Isley at the buzzer. So the Jazz had the early lead. The Sonics came back to grab it temporarily, but after one, Utah leads at 21-17. The 2 big hitters with 4 points apiece up front. Jeff Hornacek, the story in the backcourt. He has 9. The Jazz lead it by 4. We're coming back to Salt Lake City for the start of the second quarter in just a moment.
It's the only one out there. And here it comes. Introducing the only compact pickup to offer a third door. Okay, folks. Show's over. Chevy S-Series, like a rock.
The human face. Difficult terrain. Perfect for Braun's new 3-stage shaving system. One foil removes short hairs. An integrated cutter, longer hairs. The second foil completes the job. For Braun's closest shave yet.
Pizza Hut, your triple deckeroni pizza. Baby.
Wow! What a pizza! New Pizza Hut Triple Pepperoni Pizza. 90 pepperoni pieces, 6 cheeses, 2 crusts, 1 hellacious taste.
Now get a Flipper Squirt toy delivered for $1.69 each with any pizza purchase.
Are you lost in a financial jungle? What you need is someone who knows the ropes. MetLife can tame the risks and help you make sense of it all. Get Met. It pays.
Pennzoil technology leads the way again. Pennzoil 97. First to fully achieve 1997's tougher GF2 motor oil performance standard that requires higher fuel efficiency, reduced volatility burn-off, full-time protection against high-rev foaming. Don't wait. Get tougher GF2 motor oil performance for your car today. Get Pennzoil 97 and get it now. Pennzoil, a broadcast sponsor of NBC's coverage of the 1996 Olympic Summer Games.
You're watching the NBA on NBC. The 1996 NBA playoffs.
Welcome back, everyone. Utah leads by 4. You know, the 1971 ABA Finals featured Bill Sharman's Utah Stars taking on the Kentucky Eternals. And the Stars were led at that time by center Zelmo Beatty. There's Bill Sharman. Ron Boone with the pass to Zelmo Beatty, who averaged 29 points and 16 rebounds a game in the finals. And by guard Ron Boone, who hits this shot. Utah beat Kentucky in 7 games to win the ABA title. There is Ron Boone, member of the broadcast crew here in Utah. Big smile on his face. And in fact, the place abounds with ABA stars. There's George Karl from his San Antonio days. And good grief, look who this is. Steve Snapper Jones.
23, that's Michael Jordan. Yeah.
In his choir boy days, I believe. Start of the second quarter. Stockton and Malone. And Antoine Carr lost the handle. Burkowski forces the jump ball.
Greg, we talked in the open about Seattle needs to make the offensive adjustments. They haven't done that. They've got 7 turnovers. They're getting killed on the offensive glass themselves. They've only got 17 points in the first quarter.
Jeff Hornacek on the bench. He is 4 out of 4 from the floor and has 9 points.
But it's indicative of the Utah Jazz's attitude at home. They're a different basketball team. They're more aggressive. They take more chances. They push the ball, and that is part of the Sonics game, turnover.
That's tapped out of bounds by Malone. Brian Russell hurried that shot at the other end of the floor and came up way short.
We have seen more guys jump in the air to throw a pass.
You hate that, don't you?
That is the absolute worst. It cost Utah a chance to win Game 2 of this series when John Stockton, the great one, did it.
And now Stockton called for the foul on Payton.
The only people that don't jump in the air are centers.
Hey, that's John Wooden's Practical Modern Basketball Chapter 1. Don't jump to pass.
Has Q, top of the key, Perkins. Burkowski bottled up by Malone. Inside, Gary Payton. Here comes Stockton. He's going to stop and shoot. John Stockton's first basket of the day. 23-17 Utah. And foul from behind. No, jump ball. Stockton wants a foul. But Bennett Salvatore calls the jump, and Jerry Sloan doesn't like it.
Terrific hands by Gary Payton. After Russell makes the steal, Payton will tap it away the first time and then dig it out. People have no idea how powerful and how strong. Clyde Drexler in the last series was telling us Gary Payton's hands are so strong, the length of those arms. He's as big as Brian Russell.
Well, Russell and Payton got into a little talking and taunting match in Game 3. So they're at each other here early, but both of them are very aggressive at the defensive end of the floor, and that's the strength for Gary Payton, Defensive Player of the Year.
Stockton back outside, almost taken away by McMillan. Out of the corner, Russell. Three-pointer for Brian Russell, 26-17, Utah by 9.
Set offense by Utah. They've been the best team over the years in execution. Oh, what a pass by Payton.
And Sean Kemp has 6 points.
Stockton runs this whole show. Utah led the league this year in field goal percentage and in assists per game.
We have a whistle and a foul on Nate McMillan. So Nate McMillan draws the foul, and we take time here at the Delta Center with 9:52 to play in the first. The Jazz, after a seesaw first quarter, have taken command once again here in the second, and they lead it 26-19.
Do or die for Shaq and the Magic against Michael and the Bulls, Monday on NBC.
Just what you need from the cooler that takes your breath away. More oxygen. Introducing the all-new Mitsubishi Eclipse convertible. It has quite an effect on drivers, too. The new Eclipse convertible. From Mitsubishi.
This man thinks he's just pledged undying love for his girlfriend, Midge. He hasn't. He also thinks he's tasted new Miller beer. He hasn't. Brand new Miller beer. Say, ah, not duh. Look for the red label.
Hi, sweetheart.
This man thinks he's just won the lottery. He hasn't. He also thinks he's tasted new Miller beer. He hasn't. Brand new Miller beer. Say, ah, not duh. Look for the red label.
The NBA on NBC is brought to you by the all-new Eclipse Spider Convertible. It's fun you can depend on from Mitsubishi. By Priority Mail from the U.S. Postal Service. And by Reebok. Are you prepared to say, this is my planet?
On this Memorial Day weekend, we remind you tomorrow, spend your Memorial Day with NBC, Game 4 of the Eastern Conference Finals. NBA Showtime gets the afternoon started at 3 p.m. Eastern. Michael, Scotty and the Bulls face Shaq, Penny and the Magic. Orlando trying to stay alive. Bulls and the Magic, Game 4, Eastern Conference Finals tomorrow, Memorial Day at 3 o'clock Eastern Time here on NBC.
Trying to stay alive. Orlando's on life support system down there. They need to make some adjustments and do something.
Payton is out of the game. Nate McMillan now has the chore of handling John Stockton, but someone better get on the big dog, Antoine Carr.
Steve, Antoine Carr shooting just 40% throughout the playoffs this year, but these last couple of games, he has been spectacular.
Well, it's indicative of how things go for the bench people here at the Delta Center.
And McMillan comes back to hit the jump shot over Stockton.
And Nate McMillan limping a little bit.
I'd limp after John Stockton blocked my shot, too.
Antoine Carr. This time he hits the back rim. It comes right back out to Askew. McMillan. And Stockton took it away. And the foul on McMillan. What a defensive play by John Stockton.
The difference in size. John Stockton is 6 feet tall. Nate McMillan, 6'5". A post-entry pass and picked off. That's terrible. Nate McMillan is too good a ball player to make errors like that.
Now that tells you that John Stockton's ready to play. Hey, he's off his feet quick and active this afternoon. That wasn't the way he started on Friday.
Into the lineup and off the bench is number 44, Greg Foster, who hits his first shot.
Jerry Sloan so confident in that bench. The bench scoring is dominant for Utah.
And the down low illegal defense called against Utah.
As long as that defense confuses Seattle, Jerry Sloan will take all the illegals. You go up and you'll see how it is that Brian Russell just standing in there and watching, guarding no one. Now he moves out. It's too late. He's caught.
Detlef Schrempf to the line.
Greg Foster didn't even play in the last two games. Now he's getting the call, and they're running plays for him to shoot jumpers at the foul line.
Foster, a 60-year man out of UTEP at 6'11". 30-22. Jazz with an 8-point lead.
Well, realizing that they can't go with their second unit, they've got to come back with some primetime play. John Kemp gets the rebound and the foul against Antoine Carr.
So Kemp will go to the line.
Sean Kemp working so hard to get position. Foster thrown to the deck. Now, Sean has that propensity that when he double clutches, he loves to use that off arm and throw it off. And you know, Gergerich and George Karl have been working feverishly trying to get him to just go straight up. That was only Seattle's third offensive rebound of the game.
Free throw shooting is a big area of improvement for Sean Kemp. Nails both of those. 6-point ball game, Greg.
Coming up on 8:05 to play in the first half. Jazz by 6.
Trying to get the ball into the mismatch with Antoine Carr.
Brian Russell down the lane. And he'll go to the line and shoot 2.
Greg, talking to the Jazz people about Brian Russell, he was buried so deep on the bench. They were thinking about waiving him mid-season. They weren't sure he was going to be on the playoff roster. He's the first guy that's ever told Jerry Sloan at the end of the bench, and all the guys say, hey, put me in, I can score. Put me in, I can score. Brian Russell told Jerry Sloan, hey, put me in, I can stop somebody. That's the kind of thing that will appeal to a Jerry Sloan.
Jerry Sloan admitted to us yesterday, he says, hey, I might be at fault here for not having given him a look earlier. Jerry Sloan knows a little bit about playing defense in his days.
He was a 6-time member of the all-defensive team for the Chicago Bulls.
Loose ball. Oh, look at Payton's hands. And timeout called? No, jump ball. Payton trying to call timeout. Didn't get the call, and they'll jump it.
You mentioned it, Greg. The quickness. He just dove across that ball. This is what Scottie Pippen did the other game in Game 2 in that tremendous comeback. Watch him dive out for that ball.
You see Payton trying to call the timeout and said he'll jump it with Brian Russell.
They had this before. Russell won the tap. They got a violation on the jump.
So it'll be Utah ball.
With the crowd, George Karl knows that his team can't make mistakes like that. Keep this crowd in it. Give Utah second chances. This is not the nervous team. As you can see, Seattle is making mistakes. 10-2 in the turnover that played in Game 3.
Antoine Carr off the feed from Stockton, and that foul will be on Foster.
The long arms of Sam Perkins forcing that miss by the big dog, Antoine Carr. It's amazing that Seattle has 24 points. Granted, Utah is a very solid defensive team, but this Seattle team has played almost as good of set offense this year as they have defense, where they're at the top of the league.
That is the 11th turnover of the game for Seattle.
Seattle's personality is in the open court. They like to force turnovers. They like to run the basketball. Utah has not allowed that. Utah has been the aggressor of the defensive end. Watch Stockton step in, make the steal, Payton the foul. They cannot have that kind of play and control the Utah Jazz.
Steve, in Game 3, The Seattle Sonics committed 27 turnovers. This is a team that averages just over 17 a game on the year, and they've already committed 11 today. There's a foul on Askew, reaching in on Russell.
But what a terrific closeout by Gary Payton to deny the initial three-point attempt.
6:53 to play, first half. Jazz 31, Sonics 24. You're watching the NBA on NBC.
There's only one drink fat enough to quench our thirst, and that's Turbo Sport.
God, get him! The can's upside down.
Don't talk to me like a child. I played Hamlet at Cambridge.
Once again, you've ruined my concentration.
Excuse me. What's my motivation?
When you're thirsty, trust your gut, not some actor. To earn this uniform, it takes years of practice. Or play the under the cap game with 1 in 6 chances of instantly winning free Sprite and Sprite Dream Team stuff.
You ever notice the face of your kid on the way to McDonald's? His eyes light up. He smiles uncontrollably. And he just gets so happy. Come on, Dad. Some things never change.
Now McDonald's has a new kind of burger, the Arch Deluxe, with the taste, toppings, and big size grown-ups love. The new Arch Deluxe, the burger with the grown-up taste, also available with bacon.
Dr. Catherine Homrick cares for some very demanding patients in upstate New York.
I drive a lot. Some days I'll drive up to 300 miles a day to see my clients.
Fortunately, this veterinarian drives the reliable Mitsubishi Galant.
My Galant makes my life a lot easier. With the weather being unpredictable, it's real important that I have a dependable vehicle.
The Mitsubishi Galant, a car you can depend on, even when it's raining cats and dogs. The Galant from Mitsubishi, the new thinking in automobiles.
The NBA is at your fingertips at NBA.com. You have the computer, you've accessed the internet, now log on to NBA.com for all you want to know about the NBA. Interact live in chat sessions with NBA players. See and hear great plays in the NBA theater. And check out postseason action in the exclusive playoff section. NBA.com. Log on and get connected to the NBA.
This drunk driver killed the family in a 90-mile-per-hour head-on collision. His surprising defense infuriated many. Was it excuse abuse? You decide. Dateline tonight on NBC.
Welcome back to the Delta Center, where the Jazz lead the Sonics 31-24. We've talked about what a tough crowd this is for the Sonics to play in front of. Even tougher for Hersey Hawkins Friday night after a 2 for 5 for 10-point performance. He also got an earful when he returned back to his hotel room.
One thing my wife got on me last night after the game. she said, what the heck are you doing? You're not taking enough shots. So I guess if I want to go home and get a peaceful night's sleep, I better start being more aggressive.
And there is Jennifer Hawkins. You know, you can deal with the teammates, you can deal with the fans, you can deal with the coaches. But if your wife is going to give you grief, you better do something on the court.
Hersey hasn't scored today. He's in for more than an earful. You know, she's been watching him play for a long, long time, and she knows when the Hawk is right, and he's not right yet.
Ryan Russell makes it a 32-24 Utah lead.
Utah's got, Seattle's got 7 points in this quarter. Now 10.
Perkins hits the 3. He has 7 on the afternoon. 32-27.
The way you describe these teams, Utah is a control team. They like to control everything that you do. Seattle is disruptive. Seattle has not been able to disrupt so far this afternoon, and Utah has control.
Malone to Foster in the lane. Greg Foster finds his way to the basket. He has 4.
Interior passing by Karl Malone.
And Kemp comes right back for 2.
A much better Sean Kemp, even though he's got the 2 personal fouls, a better controlled effort so far, 6 in the quarter.
And 10 for the game, 34-29, 5:50 to play, first half.
Sean's been the only guy for Seattle. Oh, what a pass.
Foster missed it. Shrimp disrupted the shot. Back comes Payton.
Again, quickness and size and athleticism of guys like Detlef Schrempf. Oh, Detlef Schrempf just threw Brian Russell out of the way.
But they have not gone to Detlef Schrempf this afternoon. When Chris Morris guards them, they try to get right at Detlef Schrempf. Near steal by Hornacek.
Jeff,
Steve, you get with it. Just go, keep going through the alphabet.
Detlef Schrempf 1 for 1. One shot attempt in this game.
Turnover.
Number 12 of the day for the Sonics. Everything went all their own way in a 30-point win in Game 1. But Utah came close up in Seattle in Game 2, falling short by just 4, and then turned things around here Friday night. Foster with the open shot. And Perkins chases down the rebound.
Well, what they're trying to do is force them out of their sets by double-teaming John Stockton. The last 2 times, the guy that's shooting the ball has been Greg Foster.
Tough turnover, Karl Malone.
Yeah, there's a foul on Stockton. Stockton tried to get it back and fouled Detlef Schrempf. That's 2 on Stockton.
Just 14 now, and one Carr is back in for
Karl Malone will come up with the ball. That tough pass. You got to hand that ball to him.
So Payton to inbound. Under 5 minutes to play in the first half. Schrempf off the baseline, only his 2nd attempt of the day, and he missed it. Stockton looking for the floor. Sees no one open and slows it down. Now down low to Malone.
Gary Payton works so hard on defense.
And a traveling violation against Malone, who protests the call by Bennett Salvatore. And Sean Kemp. This is before the shot. The foul is on Carr. So suddenly we have a barrage of whistles.
It's free throws that have kept Seattle in this game. They're 8 for 10 on the afternoon. Utah just 2 for 7. So many of those calls went against Seattle in Game 3, where they were whistled for 10 offensive fouls.
Kemp pulls Seattle to within 3. So it's now 34-31. Sean Kemp with 12 today, and the Sonics again tighten things up. And we have a whistle on the far side of the court. That was on Hersey Hawkins. That will not improve Jennifer Hawkins' mood at all.
Solid set offense, though, for Utah. Hersey's wife looking on in dismay, but you got Antoine Carr with a big screen down for a great shooter in Hornacek.
You know, speaking of the wives' contributions, Jeff Hornacek's wife helped him a great deal in his shooting when he was a little down and despondent. She told him, "Why don't you try pointing your finger at the basket where you want the ball to go?" And he said, "What are you, crazy?" And he said he began to do that, and of course he had to come around eventually and tell her that it worked. 35-31. Utah. And this foul is against Antoine Carr.
3 on Carr. That saves Sean Kemp on the other side of the floor as he pops right into the chest of Karl Malone. We got double flop at the same time. We've never had this before. Take another look and you'll see on the upper corner Malone, and then Sam Perkins goes down.
Mark that down. At 4:07 to play in the first half, the double flop occurred in Salt Lake City. Hersey Hawkins, one of the 5 best free throw shooters all time in the postseason. Mark Price, the best ever, then Calvin Murphy, then Hersey Hawkins at 92.1% for his career. And Jeff Hornacek right behind him.
And that's the best way for Hawkins to get started. Then he gets his first 2 points of the afternoon from the free throw line, making it a 2-point game.
Hornacek started off hot, hasn't had a shot off since.
Karl Malone's got 4 points.
Fights his way down, can't get it to fall. Rebound Schrempf. Sonics looking for a tie or the lead. Hawkins down the lane, and he'll go to the line.
Sonics fighting fire. They're fighting fire with fire, and all of a sudden the coach is up yelling good things. Be aggressive at the offensive end, and something good will happen. Stockton picks up his third personal foul, and Stockton has been very aggressive. That's going to change things for the final 3:46 for the Utah Jazz.
Stockton blocked that shot earlier by Nate McMillan. All of a sudden he's thinking he's Akeem Olajuwon.
Percy Hawkins' numbers against the Utah Jazz and in the playoffs overall. This one for the tie at 35. And Stockton to the bench with 3 personals.
Hawkins' personality so critical to the development and overall maturity, along with Frank Bukowski, for this Seattle team this year.
They're trying to find Hornacek, and then they're going to come back to Karl Malone. They got to get Karl Malone started here, working his way inside against Perkins.
And Malone will shoot 2. Foul is on Sam Perkins. That's number 1.
A guy that averages 26 a game and has only 4 points, you know that they need him in order to get the job done. Finally comes with the left hand. Rarely do you see him swing that way, and he'll go to the line for the second time.
If this is going to turn into a free throw shooting contest, Utah is going to have to improve. Seattle is 14 of 16 from the line this afternoon. And with that miss by Malone, Utah is now 3 for 10.
Karl Malone's free throws are way down in the playoffs. This Utah team, as well as Seattle, both of these squads really shoot the ball well during the regular season, but they're both under 70% in this series.
Malone hits that one. He's 1 out of 4 from the line this afternoon. Utah with a 1-point lead. Payton in the lane. Nice turnaround.
The entry pass, that's that quick pass, the anticipatory pass that George Karl was talking about. Hit him while they're on the move.
You have now used anticipatory and propensity in the same game.
Well, we got a double flop, so there could be more on the way.
Malone, the miss. Foster bats it, but into the hands of the Sonics. Hawkins to the basket. Out of bounds off of Hawkins.
We have a timeout. Timeout taken.
And we have a stoppage of play. 2:55 to play in the first half. The Jazz have fallen behind. Seattle leads at 37-36. It'll come right back for the last couple of minutes of the first half. Right after this, you're watching the NBA on NBC.
Just what you need from the cool that takes your breath away. More oxygen. Introducing the all-new Mitsubishi Eclipse convertible. It has quite an effect on drivers, too. The new Eclipse convertible from Mitsubishi.
On Saturdays, your customers can receive 2-day packages from FedEx. Cost? An extra $10.
On Saturdays, your customers can receive 2- to 3-day priority mail packages from the U.S. Postal Service. Cost? $3. And there's no extra charge.
On Saturdays, your customers cannot receive 2-day packages from UPS. Sorry.
So, what's your priority? Priority mail from the U.S. Postal Service.
And at the end of the day, you shake hands and head for the crisp, clean, refreshing taste of broccoli.
It's do or die for Orlando. Facing elimination, Shaq and company must summon the magic of the arena to stay alive. For Michael Jordan and the Bulls, one more victory, and they're in the NBA Finals. The tension mounts in Game 4 of the Eastern Conference Finals, Monday at 3 Eastern on NBC.
We're standing by for the Prudential halftime report when we'll talk about the Eastern Conference Finals, in which Chicago, as you know, leads Orlando 3-0. Game 4 tomorrow here on NBC. We'll hear from the Bulls, but not from Jordan or Pippen or Rodman or Jackson, but from some of the supporting cast, Kerr and Wennington, Bushler. They're so obscure I can't even pronounce their names. Bushler and Randy Brown. And we'll get the thoughts of Julius Erving and Peter Vesey on the first half of the Sonics and the Jazz. Seattle on a run now, all of a sudden leads it by 1. Back we go to Greg Gumbel, Steve Jones, and Bill Walton.
All right, Bob, 2:55 to play the first half.
Let's get it! Come on, Dad! Get him! Come on!
A fan. A big-time fan.
The signs are great in this building.
Now the final 2:55, they've got to go with the guys that score the points. That's Malone and Hornacek. Foster inside will get a foul against John Kemp.
That's number 3 on Kemp.
Talking to Sean before the game, he was talking about how he really is working on trying to limit his athleticism and trying to bring more discipline to his game, to try not to make incredible, unbelievable plays, just make the simple play.
12 points, 6 rebounds for Kemp, but 5 personal fouls in Game 3 and 5 in Game 2. Foster can't get it to fall.
Jerry Sloan going with Foster. We have not seen Ostertag. We have not seen Adam Keefe. We have not seen David Benoit.
Foster is a good medium-range jump shooter, and that's the shot that he likes to make. Misses both of the free throws. The Jazz have hurt themselves in holding on to the lead at the free throw line here in the second quarter of play.
Utah now 4 for 13 from the line. That won't win you close games.
Seattle's bench is coming through, though. They got 11 points today already.
Perkins for 3. Sam Perkins makes it now a 40-36 Seattle lead.
That's 14 bench points for Seattle. Perkins big today. They only had 8 bench points in the entire game Friday night, as well as 10 turnovers.
Perkins has 10 of those points. Isley to Malone, and Malone power move to the basket. Carl has 7. We are under 2 minutes to play. Perkins. And Perkins gets it to roll, and he'll go to the line.
Basket scored by Perkins. The foul committed by...
We told you Sean Kemp went to the bench with 3 personal fouls, and then just a moment ago took an early leave, went back to the dressing room.
But he also fell pretty hard on trying to make that block. He may be getting a little bit more attention, knowing that he's not going to come in the game for the final 2 minutes of play.
Perkins makes it a 43-38 Seattle lead.
Perkins is such a versatile offensive weapon. Can stroke the 3, can post up, a wonderful passer, and beautiful positioning and sense of spacing.
Malone again. On the nice pass from Howard Isley.
They want to get Karl Malone a rhythm. In the last 2 plays, he's had a little breathing room and taking the ball to the basket. Sloan likes that. They get a foul inside.
And while we have a moment, we'll remind you next weekend, NBC Sports takes you to the red clay of Roland-Garros Stadium for the French Open, presented by Perrier. Co-number 1 seeds Steffi Graf and Monica Seles each hope to add another French Open trophy to their collection. Defending champion Graf looks to capture her 5th French title, while Seles seeks her 4th. Grand Slam tennis on NBC. The French Open, presented by Perrier, next Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern and next Sunday at 12 noon Eastern Time on NBC.
All of Hersey Hawkins' points have come from the free throw line. George Karl not sweating him at the line. He's perfect so far. Karl Malone gave him a nice little shot, and that's how he got to the line.
Just Malone's first personal. Hawkins is perfect from the line. And the Sonics are 17 for 19 in the free throw department. 1:20 to play, 5-point lead for Seattle.
And they've done what no other team has been able to do in this year's playoff, is that's keep Karl Malone in psychological check.
Isley down the lane with a nice feed and fouled from behind. Good feed from Isley. to Greg Foster.
Foster's been active and been in a good position to do some damage. Hasn't finished. This time he goes up strong, deathless sprint from the rear. He thought he'd gotten away with it, but a late whistle is better than no whistle at all.
Meanwhile, Howard Isley filling in very well in the dish-off department for John Stockton.
Isley's an outstanding talent. Got a slow start. They tried to have him be a starter when he was first up there at Minnesota. He wasn't ready for that. Out of the league, back to the CBA. Didn't work out for him in San Antonio for Isley. Out of the league, back to the CBA. Now, in a much more limited role, he's starting to grow into it.
Signed on as a free agent last October here in Utah. 55 seconds to play in the first half. Oh, Payton with a feed for Burkowski.
Now there's an adjustment that they made, knowing that they're going to come to Gary Payton. Guy on the weak side, dive to the basket. Second layup for Burkowski.
Hornacek has been quiet for a long time.
Hornacek for three. And Burkowski with the nice block out. Payton back in a hurry. Down the lane on Isley. And blocked by Russell. Seattle bench wants a goaltend. No call. Hornacek on the drive.
That's hard to believe that block was not goaltending.
Hornacek has 12.
You know what your normal response is? It's the playoffs. You don't call that.
You have to call goaltending.
Payton holding. As we come down to the last 10 seconds. Shrimp, the turnaround. Got it. 3.7 on the clock. Malone lost it. And Shrimp throws it up and crashes into our booth here at courtside. A wild end to the first half, which finds the Seattle Supersonics on top. Sam Perkins, 13 points, 9 of them coming in the second quarter, which saw Seattle come from behind to grab the lead. 49-44, back with the Prudential halftime report right after this.
This is for my man Sam. Sam I am, the Rocket Man. How could you stop it, man? 2 rings on my hand when I drop it in. Mr. Clutch Double Deluxe Butter Touch. The Mr. Buzzer Beater. The 24-second clock cheater. My jumper's deeper than the creature in your late night feature. You just got took when I shook with no look. Put the points in the book, leaving you stranded. It's the Reebok Playoff Bandit. This is my planet. Yeah, baby.
To help you perform better, get your Reebok shoes fitted at the athlete's foot.
Natural ability can only take you so far. Equipment counts for a lot. I'm always checking out new ideas. You have to stay competitive. That's what I like about Pert Plus. Cleans and conditions in one step. No messing with 2 bottles. I get great results. No hassle, no fuss. Eventually, we all cross the finish. The winners just find a better way to get there.
Pert Plus, great hair, no fuss.
Before cars had phones, cup holders, or even roofs, Mobil Oil was there. When Lindbergh crossed the Atlantic, Mobil was on board. Mobil was in the world's first minivans, in the first space shuttle, and in the tanks of Desert Storm. So if you think that all oils are alike, think about something. At Mobil, we've been changing oil for over 125 years.
Dr. Catherine Homrick cares for some very demanding patients in upstate New York.
I drive a lot. Some days I'll drive up to 300 miles a day to see my clients.
Fortunately, this veterinarian drives the reliable Mitsubishi Galant.
My Galant makes my life a lot easier. With the weather being unpredictable, it's real important that I have a dependable vehicle.
The Mitsubishi Galant, a car you can depend on, even when it's raining cats and dogs. The Galant from Mitsubishi, the new thinking in automobiles.
The championships of the USGA are on NBC. Next weekend, Annika Sorenstam defends her title against a stellar field at the U.S. Women's Open. Then, starting June 13th, witness the drama of the U.S. Open. Defending champion Gary Payton leads the field for our national championship. This June on NBC.
This is the Prudential Halftime Report, brought to you by Prudential. Live well, make a flag, be your own rock.
So it's halftime in Salt Lake City with the Sonics, who trailed in the second quarter by as many as 9, now leading the Jazz by 5, 49-44. Bob Costas back in New York. Dr. J is here, as always, with Peter Vesey. We'll talk with them about the Sonics and Jazz shortly. But first, to the Eastern Conference Finals. Chicago with that commanding 3-0 lead over Orlando. Game 4 tomorrow here on NBC. You know all about the contributions of Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and Dennis Rodman. But the Bulls' supporting cast has had a major impact as well. Marv Albert spoke with 4 members of that group: Steve Kerr, Judd Bushler, Bill Wennington, and Randy Brown.
You still refer to them as your supporting cast?
No, I think they're a step above that. I think they're my teammates now. No more supporting cast. That was back in the era where the Jordan and the Jordaneers. I don't think that happens anymore.
Hey, guys, is this basically a recreation of the bench scene? This is where you sit? This is it?
This is it right here. What we do.
Bachelor number 1, Bachelor number 2, and number 3. Would you guys rather be a starter on a lesser team or a backup on a team that might one day be remembered as among the greatest teams ever?
I'd rather be a backup. Backup for sure. Wouldn't rather be. This is where we want to be right now. We've all talked about it. That's one of the things we talk about on the bench while we're watching the rest of the guys play. We'd rather be here right now than anywhere else.
Steve Kerr.
Now, even with the limited opportunities individually, you've all contributed big plays at key moments in these playoffs. Steve, what do you consider to be your greatest game or best accomplishment as a Bull?
I thought the back-to-back layups that I blew in New York were probably my favorite.
We had several replays, as I recall. Yes, very good. Judd?
Oh, my Dr. J layup that I went to the other day where Bill Walton was all over and told me that was I'm a Dr. J by the way I missed a layup. But
this is your chance to say anything you'd like against me.
That's enough.
Bill, a particular play that stands out?
For me, it's got to be New York in the jump shot. Finish the game off.
Bill Wennington, who played his college ball at St. John's.
Judd calls me the gardener because I couldn't finish up well in the garden.
Randy Brown, the bench loved it. Look at the big guys.
That dunk over Rick Fox. I think that was the most exciting play I had all year, probably. You know, and I think that's where I started playing with more confidence.
Bushler is probably we call him the technician.
Michael has referred to you as the technician. Would you explain that?
Well, I just, I guess I'm pretty fundamentally sound out there. My game's pretty compact, and Tex Winters is our offensive coordinator with our triangle offense, and it's a very technical offense, I guess, and he just calls me the technician.
Now, aside from talent, what impact have people like Jordan and Pippen had on players like yourself?
Work ethic. I mean, they come in and they come to practice every day and work hard, and it flows down to the rest of us. You know, if they're working hard, if you don't keep up the effort, they're going to embarrass you on the floor, and then they let you know about it. And so it's just amazing to me to see guys that have the most talent on the team work the hardest.
Do you fellas, you ever beat the first team in practice?
Yeah. It's rare. It's rare. Yeah. When they're all hurt.
Well.
When they're all hurt and we're playing like 5-on-0, generally win. No, we take a licking every day, and it's funny because a year ago we used to have some pretty good battles with the starting team, but when Michael came back and they added Dennis, we basically had no chance.
If you could write the script, which would involve the bench starring in the final game of the NBA Finals, what would that script be?
Just win. We can sit right here. We don't care.
We don't care. As long as we win. It doesn't matter. That's the one thing about us, is we all get along. We all know our roles and understand our roles. And to us, it doesn't matter who's on the floor winning the game. And if guys are out there playing, we all get up, we cheer for each other on the floor, we're happy for each other. And I think that's one of the things that makes this team great, is because we got guys on the bench that understand what their role is, accept their role, and enjoy doing it.
If I'm not mistaken, all 4 of those guys, free agent signings by Jerry Krause. Let's turn now to the man who coined the phrase Michael and the Jordaneers way back when. When you look at the 4 surviving teams, and Orlando is barely surviving at this point, The Magic, the only one without a deep and effective bench.
That's right. The Bulls have outscored them 80-35 in the first 3 games. You might say that the best supporting cast for the Magic is on Horace Grant's elbow and on Nick Anderson's wrist. But what I want to know is, where was Jack Haley during this piece?
He was making sure that Dennis did whatever it is Dennis should be doing.
He was on the injury list.
Between games. You know, your Sixer teams, the 70s, early 80s, good bench there.
Yeah, we had a pretty good bench, and our guys didn't want to be like these guys, sort of like the Washington Generals, losing scrimmages all the time in practice. Our guys called themselves the Bomb Squad. We had Steve Mix, World B. Free, Joe Jellybean Bryant, and Darryl Dawkins, Dunleavy, Catchings, and Terry Furlow, I think, was the 7th guy in that bunch. And you know, they pushed us in practice, just like these guys, I'm sure, even though they're joking about it. They pushed the Bulls in practice. They came through in the New York series as well as the Orlando series, and they're going to need them against the Western Conference winner.
Okay, a reminder now about the next couple of days here on NBC. Tomorrow, Memorial Day, Game 4 of the Bulls and Magic. Chicago looking to finish things off there. NBA Showtime starting at 3 Eastern. And then on Tuesday night, we go to primetime. Game 5 of the Jazz and Sonics back in Seattle. Airtime 9 o'clock Eastern. When we return on the halftime show, we'll talk about the first half of the Sonics and Jazz. But first, a message from Prudential, and as always, a word from the National Basketball Association.
I am a grandfather that takes pleasure in doing anything I can for the kids, and they know it too. I've never been rich and never really wanted to be. I just feel you should live comfortably, but you don't need to be a fool about it. I try to impart that to my grandchildren. And you've got to have a goal and an aim in life in order to get anywhere.
For Special Olympians, the contest can last a lifetime. What they win by their courageous efforts is far greater than any game. They are winning life itself. And in doing so, they give to others a most precious prize. Faith in the unlimited possibilities of the human spirit.
Well, Utah led by 9 and trying to get even in the series at 2 apiece, but Seattle comes back to be up by 5 at 49-44 at the half. Let's go to Doc and Peter. They lead by 5, Seattle does, despite the fact they've had some problems. 13 turnovers to Utah's 5, and Gary Payton saddled with 3 fouls, only 7 points on 2 for 8.
I'll tell you, everything about those statistics, coupled with John Stockton's defensive effort, he's looking like the defensive player of the year, and then the energy that the Jazz have brought to being at home, say that the Jazz should be leading. But the score says otherwise, and I think the difference is probably the lack of offensive output from one man, Karl Malone. They need him big in the second half.
Malone held to 9, and also Utah missed 9 of 15 foul shots in the first half.
Well, let me pick up on Karl Malone. The first 3 games, he had 21, 32, and 28. So I credit George Karl, for making the switch here. He's making Karl Malone shoot from different positions. If you notice, they've taken away basically the pick and roll. Whenever Utah does it, they start it out top instead of where they normally do it, a little closer to the foul line. And if Karl Malone isn't getting his normal shots, he's 4 for 12 in the first half. Key factor.
Okay, so the Sonics by 5 at the half. One other sports note, Buddy Lazier won the Indianapolis 500 today, taking the lead with just 7 laps to go. Lazier beat Davy Jones by less than a second. The race featured 10 yellow cautions, and that slowed the average speed to just under 148 miles per hour. Slow for the Indy 500. Halftime in Utah, the Sonics leading the Jazz by 5. Back to the Delta Center we go after these messages from your local station.
This has been the Prudential Halftime Report, brought to you by Prudential. Live well, make a plan, be your own rock.
NBC's Hot Summer Nights continue with another network premiere. A couple of high-spying parents.
See Mommy picking the big lock?
What line are you in?
We're in espionage.
With a very dangerous hobby.
You guys have so much fun.
They've got 24 hours to save the world. Don't worry. They found a babysitter. Dennis Quaid, Kathleen Turner, and Tom Arnold. Undercover Blues, the network premiere. NBC tonight.
There were 2 times when we wanted our customers to really appreciate the new Chrysler Sebring convertible. Day and night. We literally redefined the convertible from the ground up.
Of course, sunny skies and starry nights aren't the only reasons to own this car.
It's quieter than you'd expect.
Cab forward provides more interior room as well as a more stable ride.
It truly is a car that gives you the sun, the moon,
and an actual backseat.
When you come to Western Auto and Parts America, you'll find that our guaranteed low prices on starters, alternators, carburetors, plugs, shocks, batteries, brakes, drums, rotors, belts, hoses, engines, air filters, oil filters, U-joints, fuel pumps, and a whole lot more are simply unbeatable. Western Auto and Parts America. Serious parts, serious savings.
Now get Armor All Armor Plate Paint Protected for just $3.69. Save $3.60 on a case of Castrol GTX motor oil, and a 2-pack of gunk puncture seal is only $2.47. Western Auto and Parts America. Serious parts, serious savings.
We'll move you, Virginia.
And we'll move you safely, Virginia, thanks to the Ford F-150, the only full-size pickup with dual airbags. And Wenstar, the only minivan to earn the government's 5-star rating in front crash tests. And Taurus, the only mid-size car to receive the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety's highest overall crashworthiness rating. Safely, that's how we'll move you, Virginia.
We'll move you, Virginia.
LWS, you're watching your local weather station, Wavy TV 10.
They've trained for years in local gyms. Worked countless hours at the corner Y. They're the U.S. Olympic team, and this summer they're taking on the world in their own backyard. The Olympics, America's Games on NBC.
Halftime at the Delta Center. The Sonics lead the Jazz 49-44. And a look at the Miller Lite halftime statistics. In the field goal department, look at how many more shots at the basket Utah has than Seattle, but Seattle clicking on 54%. Sam Perkins leads all scorers with 13 points. From the free throw line, everything continues to favor the Seattle Sonics, who have hit 17 of 19, while Utah is just 6 of 15. Percy Hawkins a perfect 6 for 6 from the line. Sean Kemp, we were wondering what his story would unfold as. Today, 3 personal fouls already after having been in trouble the last 2 games, with 5 fouls in Game 2 and again in Game 3. Let's go to Hannah Storm, who's standing by with Seattle coach George Karl. Hannah.
Well, Coach, you had Kemp in early foul trouble. You were down by 9, but your team really kept their composure. Were you happy with the way they responded?
That was one of our best halves so far. Defensively, we stayed solid the whole half. They helped us by missing some free throws, but I thought in the second quarter we started getting a rhythm to offense, and if we can score 50 points in this half, I think we have a good chance of winning.
Okay, good luck in the second half. And a quick update, Greg, on Sean Kemp. As you saw, he left the half early on the bench in foul trouble. He suffered from some cramping in his left thigh, but he got a massage at halftime. He'll be just fine for the second half, Greg.
All right, Hannah, Greg Gumbel, Steve Jones, Bill Walton. How do you guys read this game? It's tough to get a handle on it, the seesaw action, the way it's been so far.
Well, for Seattle, what they have to do is take advantage of a sense of deflation here in the Delta Center. I don't think the Utah Jazz fans think they can win anymore, but that's going to mean set offense. That's going to mean a lot more than 28 shots, particularly for Detlef Schrempf and for Sean Kemp.
Well, the story for Utah will be Karl Malone and his ability to carry them here in the third quarter, along with Jeff Hornacek.
All right, Steve, 49-44 is our score. The Sonics in the lead. The Jazz trying to pull even the series. 2 games apiece. Back to the second half in a moment.
Picture this, a romantic comedy written directed by me, starring you and Tyra Banks, be a smash. Yeah, that's fine, Spike. Listen, Spike, no disrespect, but I'm trying to watch my main man Penny dismantle the Knicks.
What's up, Spike?
What's up? Hey, Penny, pass it to Nick. No, not Nick. Horace. Penny, pass it to Horace. He's open. On the baseline. On the baseline. What? 5. Thanks, little Penny. Thanks a lot. Hey, just trying to help a man. Now, Spike, about that film. Is this an action flick? Because I do my own stunt.
Right now, get a $40 introductory manufacturer's rebate from Goodyear when you buy 4 Infinitred radials. Goodyear's longest-wearing passenger tire. That's $40 on 4 Goodyear Infinitred. But hurry, this Goodyear offer ends soon.
Will that be a window or aisle?
sir. Window.
Aisle seat.
Well, at least you know where to sit when you get home. The Accord Coupe from Honda. Possibly the world's easiest decision.
Nothing compares to Paris in the springtime. And now, tennis's most grueling Grand Slam is upon us. Andre Agassi, Pete Sampras, Monica Seles, Steffi Graf, and more. Join us for the French Open, presented by Perrier. Coverage begins next Saturday on NBC.
Back at the Delta Center, Seattle 49, Utah 44. As we get set to start the second half, let's take a look at the leading scorers in the first half of play. Sam Perkins of the Seattle Sonics leads all scorers with 13 points. Sean Kemp right behind him with 12. Jeff Hornacek leading the way for Utah with 12. Karl Malone with 9 as we get set for the second half.
A thing we have to note is that Karl Malone has been getting 20-plus shots a game through the first 3 games. He's going to really amp it up, and you can look for him to be very aggressive at the offensive end.
Utah's not rebounding the ball. They're getting pounded on the glass, and they're not making their free throws. How do you expect to win at home if you can't make shots and get the ball back?
Good look down low from Hornacek to Malone. In the second quarter alone, Seattle out-rebounded Utah 12-3.
George Karl was talking to Hannah at the halftime there about how pleased he was with his defense. He couldn't be pleased with double-teaming a guy running away from the hoop and leaving Karl Malone for a slam dunk.
Payton down the lane, back outside for Shrimp, and now Sean Kemp open for the jumper. 14 for Kemp. 51-46, Seattle.
Now they're doubling Stockton every time, and they made the adjustment the first time. Let's see if they make it again. Stockton controlling things. The clock now headed toward 10.
There's a turnover by the Jazz as the ball rolls past Karl Malone, who's fighting for position.
When you're fighting like that and backing your way, bullying your way to the hoop like Malone loves to do, that pass has got to come right in the middle of your stance. Stockton leading him, anticipating a lean. Always the passer's fault.
There's a steal by Stockton. Stockton on Payton and lost it.
You got to feel bad for John Stockton. Just not playing well. Completely outplayed by Gary Payton throughout this series. Breakaway layup turns into a turnover.
John Stockton just 1 of 2 from the field today. 4 assists, 2 points, and a whistle and an illegal defense call against Utah. And we'll go to the line and shoot a technical again.
The thing about illegal defense is they can't call them all. Sloan knows that. So they're going to still stay with the same philosophy of trying to cheat in without actually double-teaming, taking away the passing lane. Percy Hawkins hasn't missed a free throw, but he's got a new set of balloons to look into.
What do you mean you can't call them all? That's the 4th called on Utah today.
They've probably gotten away with about 20 of them.
Seattle led the league by a wide margin in illegal defense violations this season. But Seattle, like Chicago, has the personnel to play straight-up defense. They don't need a double team.
And Detlef Schrempf falls for an offensive foul and can't believe that he was called.
He said, I take a shot, and I get the foul. Stockton also took a shot on that going by, and it was the delayed action right here. Now Stockton goes down, and Schrempf gets a call against him.
52-46, Sonics. And it's travel on Malone.
Second one this afternoon. Shuffled his feet before he put it down, but you can tell by his attitude at the offensive end, he wants to get active and busy. He's going to be trying to dominate things for the Utah Jazz and Jerry Sloan.
The crowd, though, sitting down, not nearly as angry and hostile as they were in the opening moments of the game.
Payton. Oh, what a move to the basket by Payton. Malone has the rebound. Chris Morris back in a hurry. Tried to get past Irving Johnson and lost it. Backcourt violation, you bet.
Problem for Chris Morris. That's the best thing he's done today. He came back in and forced this play. As Shrimp went back and stepped across the line, he's going to come out of the game. It's tough to get a rhythm. Russell in, Morris out. Not happy about it.
But if you're not playing well, and what has Chris Morris done well except force that one backcourt violation? You got to get him out of there.
Meanwhile, Seattle, 16 turnovers this afternoon. Spencer, double team.
That's a poor decision by Seattle.
Hornacek on the run, blocked, and picked off by Kemp. Payton in a hurry, down the lane. Oh, Gary Payton. 9 for Payton, 54-46. Seattle with the lead. Timeout, Utah. 9:37 to play. Third quarter. Sonics have jumped to a 54-46 lead. We'll come back in a moment. You're watching the NBA on NBC.
The Dream Team, coming this summer on NBC.
Introducing the Acura RL, the new flagship from Acura. It's built on the idea that luxury doesn't have to be boring. An idea that we thought might appeal to some of you.
Life is a sport. Drink it up.
Some of us know we can keep going when bad things happen. Because we've got someone who'll help make things right again. Being in good hands is the only place to
The NBA on NBC is brought to you by New Miller Beer, the brand new beer from Miller with big flavor that goes down easy. By Acura, who invites you to test drive the new flagship of Acura, the RL. And by Gatorade Thirst Quencher. You live life, you get thirsty. Life is a sport. Drink it up.
Come on, everybody, bring them back. Utah Jazz trying to find something to get noisy about. We remind you next weekend, NBC Sports proud to present the U.S. Women's Open. Defending champion Annika Sorenstam headlines the game's best, including rookie sensation Terry Webb, Laura Davies, and last year's runner-up Meg Malone. The U.S. Women's Open next Saturday at 1 Eastern and next Sunday at 3 o'clock Eastern Time here on NBC. 9.5 to play in the third. The Sonics 54, the Jazz 46. John Stockton on the baseline. 4 points for Stockton this afternoon.
But Gary Payton just right back up and attacking the whole way. Stockton's performance throughout this playoffs has been a continual slide down the slippery slope.
Irvin Johnson fouled as he went down the lane. That's Karl Malone.
John Stockton is much better tonight, this afternoon, than he was on Friday night. He could not make a shot, could not make a lay-in, could not make a free throw. He is 2 of 3 and moving much better than he did on Friday night. Irvin Johnson makes his first free throw.
His first point of the day.
Stockton in this series just averaging 7 points and 6.5 assists. Those are on 33% shooting. Those numbers are half of what he normally does in his career.
56-48, Sonics by 8. Spencer on the feed to Stockton.
The pace starting to pick up a little bit offensively, and that'll help Utah. But unless Malone and Hornacek get something going, I don't think Felton Spencer is going to beat you with his offense.
Payton for three. Oh, Gary Payton.
Well, that's what all that practice has done for Gary Payton. It's made him a very confident perimeter player. His first three-point field goal, 10 in the game.
Sonics by 9. Stockton looking for Malone. Back outside to Stockton. Hornacek down the lane, got it blocked. And tapped back out to Stockton, who launches the three. That gets the fans on their feet.
Again, the size of Seattle. Irvin Johnson, Sean Kemp, deadlift Shrimp.
Shrimp for three. And Kemp with the follow.
Kemp got away with the push and was able to get the throwdown afterward. An easy two.
(61-53) Sonics, 7:45 to play in the third, as this game has opened up a lot.
So they're sending 2-3 people to Karl Malone. The foul, 40, Sean Kemp.
And 4 on Kemp. And George Karl takes a walk down to the end of the bench and points to Sam Perkins.
Perkins was terrific in the first half there, 13 points. Seattle, though, is scrambling on defense. They're so good individually, they don't need to do that. It's not like Karl Malone is having a huge day. He's only got 11 points.
So Kemp takes a seat with 7.5 to play here in the third.
But so much of what they do revolves around Karl Malone at the offensive end that Karl knows that he can't let him get started. He had 18 in the third quarter in game 2 to get him a lead going into the fourth quarter.
But the way Payton is playing offense and the mismatching you got with deadlift Shrimp, I just played real solid, straight-up basketball.
Oh, terrific. And a timeout call by Shrimp as he hit the deck. This is a 20-second timeout. And now George Karl says it's going to be a full timeout. Terrific defense by Brian Russell. Almost forced the turnover. We'll come back to the Delta Center in just a moment.
The Sun comes standard. The Del Sol from Honda.
This is for my grandfather, who always said I'd make the family proud. For my mom, who never let me out the door without my homework. For my dad, who worked the night shift to make our lives better. For myself, for my future.
If you think stress is tough on you, consider your engine. Traffic jams, towing and hauling, even idling can lead to damaging wear. That's why Castrol is introducing Syntec Blend, the only synthetic blend that combines Castrol conventional oil and Syntec molecular components for greater protection than conventional oil in severe driving conditions, because too much stress can be fatal. Castrol Syntec Blend, added protection for severe driving.
Hello from the Plank Road Lane, where our man Paul and the Plank Road Warriors are here to make a simple little point. This is not smooth. In fact, it's downright clumsy. This, however, is strikingly smooth. Ice House. It's ice brewed, so there's never any watered-down taste, just more of what you want in a beer. And what's our team motto? It's not how many strikes or spares you get, it's how fast you get to the beer frame. Thanks, and enjoy.
Next weekend, Swedish sensation Annika Sorenstam defends her title against a stellar field at the U.S. Women's Open. Next weekend on NBC.
Welcome back, everyone. We mentioned earlier that the reason Brian Russell caught head coach Jerry Sloan's eye was because of his defense. And this is the scrambling kind of play that Jerry Sloan, the Utah Jazz coach, used to employ when he was a member of the Chicago Bulls, an outstanding defensive player. In fact, he and Norm Van Leer comprised quite the backcourt for many a season in Chicago. And Jerry Sloan's jersey is one of those that hangs in the rafters in the home of the Chicago Bulls at the United Center. He was tough.
Anybody who could send Pete Maravich's shot back like that had to be awfully good. I played a lot against Jerry. A fierce but great competitor.
Jerry Sloan has led Utah to the Western Conference Finals 3 of the last 5 seasons. And Seattle runs out of time. 17th turnover this afternoon for the Sonics.
It was like they didn't know that the shot clock was down.
They didn't.
And they had their own timeout.
61-53, Sonics. Russell down low to Spencer. Spencer fakes one, too hard off the glass, rebound, loose, and picked off by Seattle.
Gary Payton again. Everything on both ends of the court. Been the best player in the Western Conference playoffs from day one.
Perkins trying to back Malone in. Malone trying to get the foul. 7 on the shot clock.
Payton off the mark. Loose ball out to Hawkins for 3. Percy Hawkins. Hawkins has 10, and the Sonics lead by 11.
Percy Hawkins, the denied defense on Hornacek.
They've lost their rhythm at the offensive end. They're trying to get it back. Payton trying to keep Stockton from the ball. Will pick up the personal foul.
That's number 2 on Payton. Let's go back to the other end. Percy Hawkins gets it going. Great screen.
Hawkins has got one of the best strokes in all of basketball. Huge scorer when he played in college. Well over 35 points a game. That's a lot of points.
They're trying to keep Karl Malone out of the ball game, make someone else beat them when they've got the lead. Malone can't get the ball. Russell on the drive.
Russell with a tough through to the basket. 7 for Brian Russell.
Everything for Utah, though, in the set offense has been scrambled. Karl Malone can't get it going. Give Perkins a tremendous amount of credit there.
Payton, shot clock down to 7. Payton down the line. Tap no good. Johnson loses it. Russell has it. Utah trying to slice into a little bit more, and an offensive foul on Utah. The foul is on Antoine Carr, and that's his 4th.
Antoine Carr walking right in the direction of Hugh Evans, giving him that long look and trying to intimidate him, but he can't get a call. Greg Foster is going to get in the game. Antoine Carr has to sit down.
So still no Ostertag off the bench for Utah.
No Adam Keith, no David Benoit. Those are all guys who can score. Not so much Ostertag.
Payton. And Hornacek off to the races. And fouled as he came across the middle by Hawkins.
You can clearly see that part of Seattle's adjustment was to be more aggressive at the defensive end. Try to force some mistakes. Utah Jazz have not been able to get out and run, haven't been able to get their offense set, and they're down on the scoreboard trying to set up to break that 11-point lead.
And they have taken Jeff Hornacek out of this game after he started it so well. Malone blocked from behind. Foul is called.
Payton.
And that's number 3 on Payton.
Malone in the low post on the switch. Gary Payton's going to try a trick out of Karl Malone's book and strip down low. Let him go that time. But when you're as competitive as Gary Payton is, Greg, you mentioned that Hornacek's been taken out. Hornacek's got 12 points in this game, but the vast majority of that will be early going. Percy Hawkins, every player on the Seattle Supersonic team talks about Percy Hawkins' defense, not so much his offense, which he's nationally famous for, but that defense for Hawkins, keeping in front of people, making them take really tough shots.
It will help the Utah cause if they begin to click from the free throw line.
Well, the guy that's got to lead him is Karl Malone, and he has struggled this afternoon. Normally in big games, he brings a big game. Still waiting for it to unfold. Misses that second free throw.
He's 2 out of 6 from the line. 64-56, 4.5 to play for the third quarter.
Utah 7 for 17 on its home court in its most important game of the season. That won't get it done.
Perkins. And throws it up, and he'll go to the line as Malone fouls him. That's number 3 on Karl Malone. Nate McMillan off the Seattle bench. Howard Isley in for Utah.
This is a foul out of frustration. Malone doesn't even make an attempt. Got hooked under and just let Sam Perkins get that chance to go to the free throw line.
Perkins, 13 points, all in the first half. And gets the roll.
Tough to guard the left-handed guys with their back to the basket when they're coming in like that. They lean right in. You can't use your chest so much. Guys like Perkins, guys like David Robinson, Artis Gilmore, huge advantage.
(66-56), 10-point Seattle lead, and 4:10 to play in the third.
Karl Malone has 3 personal fouls, but they need him to really get active at the offensive end. And if he does that, they're in the ball game. They're only down 10, trying to find an offensive spark.
Shot clock down to 5. Malone with the turnaround. Got it. Karl Malone with 14.
Seattle has to just come back and play disciplined offense. They don't have Kemp or Shrimp on the floor right now. That means Perkins. Let him and Payton play a 2-man game. Spot up the other guys on the weak side.
And we get a foul called on Howard Isley.
Malone trying to find room to get this one away. This is what got him started in Game 3. That kind of jump shot. He really made 3 or 4 big shots when the game was close to put the Sonics away, trying to get him even. They look to post up Gary Payton.
Payton spins on Hornacek. And Malone comes away with it.
That's 2 runners Payton has missed from that spot. Pull up and shoot a short jump shot. Kiss it off the glass.
Malone, and illegal defense against Seattle.
Bukowski and Malone getting into it right here.
And Malone takes a walk away, and Bukowski follows him with the stare.
Get a look from overhead at Karl Malone and Bukowski as they break up. You can see Sam Perkins clearly in the lane for an illegal defense.
Couple of guys, Bukowski and Malone. Karl calmly walking away. Bukowski, like Hawkins, the 2 guys that were brought in to improve the team chemistry, and they've done that beautifully for Seattle.
Both guys 6'9", Bukowski and Karl Malone. (66-59), 3:04 to play in the third. Isley looking for a screen.
They've been able to keep Hornacek out of it. That's
Jeff Hornacek, 66-61, Utah within 5. And the fans come to their feet. Hawkins, Hersey Hawkins.
Well, our conversation tonight is going to be much better.
Seattle has responded in magnificent fashion to every challenge that Utah has thrown out today.
And Hawkins now in Hornacek's face. Shot clock down to 6. And Hornacek in trouble. Malone with the turnaround. Front rim, Foster with a rebound. And back up top, Hornacek. And Bukowski has the rebound.
Well, Russell kept that one alive, but it bounced right into the hands of Bukowski. And the Sonics know that this is a big possession trying to quiet the crowd.
Perkins for 3. And that's out of bounds off the Jazz. And it is now rest given to Seattle.
Greg, Nate McMillan is really limping. We don't know exactly what it is that's wrong with him. In the training room, he was getting his hamstrings worked on, but up and down the court, as Perkins' shot rims out on the three, Hornacek clearly off his hand.
There's Nate McMillan, new 24 for the Sonics. Seattle leads at 68-61. And Payton around Hornacek, who wanted a foul, didn't get it. And he'll go to the line.
Payton just abuses Hornacek right here. They're calling for, Utah wants an off elbow throw to the...
Now watch the hook. That's what they wanted. They missed the call on that. It turned into a three-point play for Gary Payton. Payton with 6 in the quarter.
Now it's back to a 10-point lead for the Sonics with a minute and a half to play.
Hornacek is not normally a good defensive player. He's not going to get that call every time in the low post.
A hook isn't a hook.
The lob for Foster. In the lane, had it stripped by Askew. Perkins goes cross-court to McMillan and then looks for the ball back. Gets it down low, moves across the lane, and he'll go to the line to shoot.
Now, what the Utah Jazz have to do right now is take their focus back on the game, not get involved with the officials. They haven't gotten a call, but they've lost their aggressiveness, which they started the ball game with. Seattle has picked their intensity up, and the only way that you're going to beat that is to come back and be more aggressive, move quicker, make better decisions with the ball.
Sam Perkins, 5 of 6 from the line this afternoon, 15 points altogether. And Seattle continues to drill them from the free throw line.
Perkins, the only man in this Seattle franchise beside his team president, Wally Walker, who's got championship experience. Perkins got his at the college level playing for North Carolina with Worthy and Michael Jordan.
Biggest lead of the day for the Sonics, 73-61.
And when they use Sam Perkins to run, that means you got to have someone go to the basket. Karl Malone does just that.
Malone tightens the Seattle lead to 10 with 40 seconds to play.
Seattle could go 2 for 1, but they're playing with such confidence on offense. Apparently, they'll just take the first good shot.
Sloan wants a foul call, doesn't get it.
They get one against Bukowski now.
Jerry Sloan, a technical foul call now on Jerry Sloan.
Sloan goes ballistic when he sees Bukowski knocking his hand down, and he's saying that's a foul, and he's saying not only once, twice, 3 times.
And Perkins to shoot the technical. A rare miss at the line for Utah, or rather for Seattle, which is now 25 for 28.
Bukowski makes a series of very bad errors here. Why would you get mixed up with Isley? Just let him go. He's a little guy, about 6 feet. He's going to slap you around a little bit. Just stand there and take it. Get him back when the refs aren't watching.
John Stockton back into the game. 20 seconds to play in the third. Sonics by 10.
Watchword there was when the refs aren't watching.
And Stockton counts it down. Stockton down the lane, tries to dish. Foster got it away before the shot clock expired. And Sam Perkins to center court, pass off. It's off the mark, and that'll do it for the quarter. The Seattle Sonics have not been to the NBA Finals since they won the title in 1979. They continue to hold on here. They'll go home with a chance to wrap it up on Tuesday night. After 3, the Sonics lead at 73-65. Sean Kemp and Karl Malone leading the way. We'll be back after these messages and a word from your local station. You're watching the NBA on NBC.
do every day, huh? For a baby. Like this. Not like this. It's not so bad. Maybe...
For the man with sensitive skin, Schick introduces the new Tracer FX.
There's a sensitive part? Right here? Good.
With its unique skin guard designed for a smooth shave with less irritation.
I think I'm getting the hang of it.
The shaving system for sensitive skin. Schick Tracer FX.
You guys are so sensitive. What's the big deal?
All great cars are built from the ground up. But to build something truly extraordinary, we had to dig a little deeper. Introducing the new Acura CL Coupe. Further proof that luxury doesn't have to be boring.
I'm a victim of child abuse. My life has been ruined because someone abused me very badly. Every day I fight to survive the flashbacks and nightmares. The effects are devastating, and for me, it's lasted my whole life. I suffer because I can't trust anyone. I want to fight back. I want people to know it's wrong to abuse children.
A surprising defense. Did it get this drunk driver off? Dateline tonight.
When you come to Western Auto and Parts America, you'll find that our guaranteed low prices on starters, alternators, carburetors, plugs, shocks, batteries, brakes, drums, rotors, belts, hoses, engines, air filters, oil filters, U-joints, fuel pumps, and a whole lot more are simply unbeatable. Western Auto and Parts America. Serious parts, serious savings.
Now get Armor All Armor Plate Paint Protected for just $3.69. Save $3.60 on a case of Castrol GTX motor oil, and a 2-pack of gunk puncture seal is only $2.47. Western Auto and Parts America. Serious parts, serious savings.
Hey, Virginia, America's #1 selling car is taking another turn for the better. Announcing low 2.9 financing on Ford Taurus. That's right, 2.9 or 600 cash back on any 96 Taurus in stock.
And if that's not enough to make your head spin, Taurus receives the highest overall crashworthiness rating.
Get the same great deal on any 96 Contour with dual airbags standard. 2.9 or 600 cash back on Taurus and Contour. A revolutionary new offer from your local Ford dealer.
It's Heather Locklear, the Psycho, on Entertainment Tonight.
This copyrighted telecast of the National Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of the NBA.
Welcome back to Salt Lake City as we get set to start the fourth quarter. Celebrity cameraman time, and the principal owner of the Los Angeles Lakers, Dr. Jerry Buss. Jerry, I asked you a moment ago, what are you doing here? And your perfect response was what?
I love this game.
Hey, we didn't write that for him, honest. Good to have you here, Jerry. Thank you.
It's really nice to be here, Greg. Thank you.
We get started in the fourth quarter. Seattle leading at 73-65 in the fourth quarter. Well, the Utah Jazz outscored their opponent in the first 11 games of the postseason, but this series they have not done well at all.
Now, if they're going to get an advantage, they're going to get it against this group that's out there because they've got two primary offensive players in Payton and Kemp, and if they can shut down everyone else, the Utah Jazz will do what they've done, which is dominate the fourth quarter.
With the foul problem, Sean Kemp went out of the game with 7:35 to play in the third, and the Sonics led by 8. That's the lead now.
Trying to get the ball to Malone, but they're taking a lot of time to do it.
Karl Malone. 73-67. Fans on their feet again. Kemp across the lane. No, tap no good. And an offensive foul. That's number 5 on Kemp. And Malone is holding his left knee.
That was the play for Sean Kemp that won Game 2 in Seattle. Comes across the lane. Karl Malone goes to the ground, gets hammered there. Then lands right on that knee. It's a silly offensive foul by Sean Kemp.
Well, that's 5, and that's the 3rd straight game in which Sean Kemp has had 5 personal fouls.
And Steve, how many times have we seen Sean Kemp double clutch in the post, miss, and then get an offensive foul over the bounce?
Stockton for 3. Russell with the rebound. Short pop off the baseline. Doesn't go. Malone. 20 points for Karl Malone. 73-69 Seattle.
Gary Payton has got to take over for Seattle.
And Russell fouls Detlef Schrempf up top.
Russell wanted to bring this crowd out of their seats if they can get any higher and noisier, trying to make a steal. But at the other end of the floor, it's multiple opportunities that do the Sonics in, and Karl Malone finishes.
And an offensive foul on Schrempf. That's 3 on Detlef Schrempf. George Karl says timeout. A little over 2 hours ago when we came on the air, George Karl says we got to stop fouling. It may catch up to him here in the 4th quarter. The Sonics lead is down to 4, 73-69. You're watching the NBA on NBC.
Do or die for Shaq and the Magic against Michael and the Bulls, Monday on NBC.
The new Ford Taurus has people talking. Car and Driver noted it's wider, longer, and taller than before. Edward Armand says,
I'm amazed at its size. It's actually bigger than it looks.
Automobile Magazine calls it maybe the best family car ever made. And Maria Stylo adds,
I love it. I've never gotten so many compliments.
the new Ford Taurus. Now with $600 cash back, Taurus starts at just $17,945. Or get 2.9% APR financing. Hurry, offer ends soon.
On May 31st, Universal Pictures invites you.
I will not stop until I've rid the world of every last one of you.
I am the last one. To hold on for this summer's hottest ride into the heart of adventure. Dennis Quaid and Sean Connery as Draco. Dragonheart, rated PG-13. Starts Friday at theaters everywhere.
Ken Griffey Jr., athlete.
Hey, Nick, finish. This is a Griffey for President commercial. You know he's running for president, right? You know there's more to life than sports, man. There's politics.
He is a fabulous American hero. There has been anybody.
He got some interesting ideas about that flat tax. Check him out.
He picked the Mariner Moose as a running mate. He used his consideration for animals.
Now, that moose could be a liability. Hey, let me tell you what. I should be a running mate. I mean, that's a good job, because you don't got to do squat. Come on, Nick. Power to the people. Stick it to the man. No loose. Save the way.
Hello from Plank Road, where our man Paul is out to prove that it's what's inside that counts. Take this bottle. Someone went to a lot of trouble to get this ship into it. But what are you going to do with it? Then take this bottle, Ice House. The folks at Plank Road also went to a lot of trouble, but look at all you get. An ice-brewed beer with no watered-down taste, so it goes down smooth and easy. So, if it's what's inside that counts, you can always count on Ice House. Thanks, and enjoy.
Miller, where great taste runs in the family, brings you Miller Moments.
And today's Miller Moment features a memorable game winner by Sam Perkins. In the 1991 NBA Finals, Perkins, a member of the Los Angeles Lakers, they trailed the Bulls by 2 in Game 1. Time running down, he hit the three-pointer to give the Lakers the win. And in recognition of that moment, the Miller Brewing Company will donate $1,000 to the Thurgood Marshall Scholarship Fund. Sam Perkins leading Seattle in scoring today with 17 points. 10-13 to play in regulation. Let's go over to Hannah Storm. Hannah.
Jazz responding very well to what Jerry Sloan told them at the start of the quarter. He told his team, you guys have got to relax. We're at home. This is our quarter. I want you to set some harder screens. I want you to lay some meat on these guys, he told them. And they're going to continue to double team in the post and leave Seattle's perimeter shooters open. Also, if you notice, Nate McMillan limping a little bit. He's got some tendonitis problems in the right knee. That's going to take him out of the game at this point, Fred.
All right, Hannah. Karl Malone, 22 points, 73-71. The Jazz have scored 10 straight.
Well, the guy with the most offensive ability is Payton. They're trying to get him the ball, but they're working against the clock.
No basket. Whistle blew out front, and the foul is on Jeff Hornacek.
It is loud in here. The players can't even hear the whistles.
What?
Great players, as Gary Payton is becoming. They have to take these moments when the crowd is ready to charge the court here and take over, get them back in their seats. Gary Payton was 6th in the league this year in MVP voting behind Michael Jordan. This is his moment right now to keep this series from going too much longer for Seattle.
All kinds of time left, just under 9.5 to play in the fourth quarter. And an offensive foul. Malone took the charge.
And Greg, we're starting to see Karl Malone right now. That rampaging intensity that we've got, that we've seen all playoffs long. He's just taken over. Nobody's responding for Seattle.
Third foul on Vincent Askew. Stockton and Malone set it up.
Now, you know they're going to double him, and that means somebody's going to be wide open. They'd like it to be Foster.
Foster got it. We're tied at 73.
They got to get Detlef Schrempf in the game at the offensive end for the Sonics. He has been missing. He's only got 5 points in the game.
Good defensive pressure. Hornacek got the ball in the timeout.
Now they get to playing with more energy and enthusiasm. Hornacek with a 20-second timeout, and they have gotten control of the momentum, and now they're trying to get control of the scoreboard.
Utah has not led since 36-35 with 3.5 to play in the second quarter. And Utah has outscored Seattle 8-0 here in the fourth.
George Karl in that huddle, telling him, pass the ball quickly and think. Play with your mind, guys.
Well, the longer you hold the ball, the more the defense is going to have a chance to have an effect on the game. Seattle's starting to hold it and dribble it and not certain where they're going to go, and Utah has picked it up at the defensive end. You know they're going to come through Karl Malone now.
The Jazz looking for their first lead in a long time. Malone open. And rebound off to Payton.
He should have shot it when he initially thought about it. He cocked it and hesitated.
Schrempf fouled by Brian Russell.
Seattle has had a lot of historical success here in Salt Lake City. This is a team that wins almost 50% of their games in the regular season. Seattle at Utah.
Detlef Schrempf has had a tough afternoon.
Kemp is trying to break a scoreless start for them. That's the first point of the fourth quarter for them. Almost 4 minutes gone in the fourth quarter of play.
Detlef really hasn't had any offensive looks of his own out of the low post.
Schrempf hits them both. He has 7 points, and it's a 2-point lead for Seattle as we come up on 8 minutes to play in regulation.
Closes out so well defensively on the perimeter.
They're trying to go pick and roll with Karl Malone, trying to get him the ball at the basket.
Stockton on the run, went to the floor, and that's out of bounds to Utah. "22 turnovers today by Seattle."
When you get a rebound, you cannot let guys come in and be slapping at that ball. That's why you develop that hitch, that snatch on the grab of the rebound.
Hornacek on the move. And Malone with the rebound. Malone and Payton went for the ball. That was no contest. And the Sonics come away with it. Sonics with the ball and a 2-point lead. Traveling violation. Turnover number 23.
Now, Greg Foster has given Gary Sloan a lot of life and a lot of energy. Unexpected, he goes out of the ball game. Antoine Carr comes in, but he was battling Sam Perkins to force that turnover.
10 points off the bench for Greg Foster. Antoine Carr back onto the floor. Malone's pass batted away, and a whistle blows. Foul is on Nate McMillan. And we'll take time with 6:52 to play in the fourth quarter. The Sonics by 2. We'll be right back.
Turns out we're part of the biggest event during the summer games, the beer run. The Bud World Party continues, round the clock, around the world.
This is Ford Escort. It's new and it's nifty. It's made for the smart, the intelligent thrifty. It's new out and in, has airbags for 2. Even anti-lock brakes are available. Ooh, the trunk, it is huge to hold tremendous treasure. And if your treasure is of stupendous measure, the rear seat folds down to let bigger things in, still leaving room for your next of kin's kin. It has all the whatsits and gidgets, to put it concisely, and Escort's right price should suit you quite nicely.
Looking for something?
Yeah, that dime from Sprint's long-distance plan.
Having trouble finding it, huh?
Yeah.
Well, that's because depending on when you call, the Sprint Cents rate isn't always a dime. It could be a quarter or 65 cents on calls to Canada.
Oh.
Try AT&T True Reach Savings. On average, most people can save more than with Sprint Cents when they spend $25 a month on calls in the U.S. Plus, you'll always save more on calls to Canada.
Wow, I found what I'm looking for.
That's your true choice, AT&T.
The NBA on NBC is brought to you by Bud Light, official sponsor of the 1996 Olympic Summer Games. Make it a Bud Light. By Prudential, live well, make a plan, be your own rock. And by Ford Escort, it's new and it's nifty, made for the smart, the intelligent thrifty.
Welcome back, everyone. You saw a few moments ago in the huddle George Karl telling his team to think out there. He wants to avoid what he feels happened in Game 3 2 nights ago.
I thought there was a mental fatigue in the game. A mentalness that maybe caused us physical fatigue. And whatever you want to point your finger at, the intensity of the game, the poor confidence at the offensive end of the court, the refereeing, I mean, there was about 4 or 5 things that mentally I thought fatigued us. And then it got to the fourth quarter, 7-point game. We've won a lot of those games this year, and we just didn't have the energy or the mental toughness to fight and win that.
Mental toughness means everything to a team that would be champion. 6:40 to play in the fourth. Sonics by 2. Jazz with the basketball. And the shot clock is down to 8. Hornacek. Fox along the baseline. Carr.
The Sonics defense is all right. It's the offense that has done nothing in this fourth quarter. And this has been a Seattle weakness over the years. Get something happening out of the sets.
Percy Hawkins down the lane. Carr with the rebound.
Malone was looking for a quick, easy shot in transition before the defense could set up. Russell.
And a beautiful pass from Karl Malone. Gary Sloan has now gotten 29 points off his bench. Jazz by 2. Shrimp open and hit.
Gary Payton setting the whole thing up, and this to be able to watch Stockton and Jerry Sloan have that interplay between point guard, decision maker, and coach. A thing of beauty.
Stockton back out. Russell with the shot clock at 3. Stockton has to cast off out of the corner. And Perkins has the rebound.
That was bad execution.
Shrimp open for 3. And that's batted out of bounds by McMillan. It'll be Utah ball. Sean Kemp back onto the floor with 5 personal fouls.
Now, this is a time Carl feels that if they're going to get any separation, Kemp's got to be out there and make something happen for them. He's got to play with some control and some thought. If he does that, he can stay the 5 minutes.
If you're Utah, you go right at him, don't you?
Absolutely. He's only played 19 minutes. He's got no rhythm to the game. He's going to be tentative as well as anxious.
Now, Hersey Hawkins has done a much better job of shutting down Hornacek, but they get an illegal defense on the other side of the floor. Hornacek will shoot the free throw for Utah.
3rd of the day against the Sonics.
It is terrific to watch the Utah veterans, Stockton and Malone, and their interchange with Jerry Sloan in terms of their offensive sets. They've been together so long. Just a little hand signals in this incredibly loud building. It gets it all done.
The hand signals that better get it done in this building. Jazz by 1 on the basketball. 4:45 to play.
See, Payton won't let Stockton catch the ball. He's trying to keep them from getting set up because they know they want to go pick and roll. They finally get it set.
Hornacek fouled by Detlef Schrempf. That's 4 on Schrempf.
That whole play made possible by the strength of Karl Malone. Karl Malone pulled that ball back into his possession and a swing to Hornacek. And one of the few times Seattle did not close out properly on wide-open spot-up shooters.
Again, Payton denying Stockton, and that's what takes so much time off the clock. They have to break the play to get it set.
Russell. And that'll be Seattle ball.
He wasn't set. He was moving into it. Seattle with just 4 points in the decisive 4th.
All of them scored by Detlef Schrempf. 1 shot, 2 free throws, and Schrempf now trying to be aggressive at the offensive end.
Schrempf will go to the line.
When you're having trouble in the set offense, you got to have that low post guy, somebody who can draw a double team and allow you to swing it to the weak side. Detlef with a huge size and athleticism edge over Brian Russell, who's settling for play on the perimeter.
Detlef Schrempf has been the Seattle offense here in the 4th quarter. We have a tie game at 78.
Their offensive priorities are Kemp 1, Payton 2, Detlef Schrempf 3, and they're going to their 3rd option. Big advantage at the free throw line. Schrempf misses.
That's his first miss of the day. We are tied at 78 as we come up on 4 minutes to play here in the 4th. Malone steps back, now goes in. 24 points for Karl Malone.
And that's right in the face of a terrific defensive player. Sam Perkins did everything possible. Nothing but net.
Trying to get the ball to Sean Kemp.
Perkins for 3. Oh, what a killer shot by Sam Perkins. 20 on the afternoon for Perkins. The Sonics by 1.
Again, trying to get the ball to Malone. They're making them fight through the screens, and eventually they want to go to Malone. Against the clock now at 5.
Stockton up top. Hornacek had to get it away in a hurry. He did. 2-pointer by Jeff Hornacek. 82-81 Utah.
Well, he never even had that ball. He just touched out of his hands right into the shot, threw it up there.
Payton's going to look down low to Kemp. Across the lane. Whistle blows. Foul is going to be on Karl Malone.
Well, this is when you know a guy can shoot. Against the shot clock, he knows they got to get it away. That's money.
Jeff Hornacek flicks from outside. Clock is stopped. 2:36 to play. The Jazz 82, the Sonics 81. This is the NBA on NBC.
job needs 4 guys now, and the guys need all their equipment. You're working harder than ever. You need a truck that does too. Meet the all-new 1997 Ford F-150, the only full-size pickup with a standard Super Cab third door, 60/40 split rear bench, and standard dual airbags, plus a taller cab for more hat and boot room than ever. After all, the guys aren't getting any smaller. The new Ford F-150. Strength after strength after strength.
It's a hot summer night on NBC. Hey! With another network television premiere. 2 high-spying parents.
What line are you in?
We're in espionage. With 24 hours to save the world. Don't worry. They found a babysitter. Kathleen Turner, Dennis Quaid, and Tom Arnold. The network premiere of Undercover Blues, NBC tonight.
Tomorrow on NBC Sports, Game 4 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls look for the sweep against Shaquille O'Neal and the Orlando Magic. Our coverage gets underway at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. The Magic and the Bulls on Memorial Day, right here on NBC. Let's go over to Hannah Storm. Hannah.
The raucous crowd and the comeback by the Jazz, Greg. The Sonics very composed in the huddle. George Karl telling them to stay confident. He goes, the problem is not in your defense. They just made the tough shots. You guys are playing well. Greg?
Exactly what Bill Walton said a couple of moments ago. Or was it Steve Jones? I get you guys so mixed up.
It's been such an exciting afternoon that it's easy to do, but he's trying to get them to believe that they can shut them down in a critical moment with their defense. Foul trouble. Strength is the guy that you got to be concerned about if you're a Sonic fan. Malone, Carr, and Foster, all big people.
Kemp, 6 out of 6 from the line this afternoon. 18 points, 83-82 Seattle.
Hannah had that piece early about Kemp and Payton working with Gergerich. That work paying off right now.
Again, they want to stay with the 2-man game. Stockton and Malone. They turn it over.
Hornacek lost it.
Terrific defense, Hersey Hawkins. Again, a good, solid closeout. A Seattle trademark defensively.
2:05 to play in the fourth. These teams meet again Tuesday night in Seattle here on NBC.
Shot clock at 5.
Hawkins down the lane, kicks it to Payton out of the corner. Gary Payton hits the jumper. 17 for Payton, a 3-point lead for Seattle, and 1:45 to play. Utah fans to their feet. Malone, and a blocking foul. It rolls off the edge of the basket, and George Karl is livid. That's number 6 on Kemp. He cannot believe that he was charged with the foul.
Karl Malone down the lane. Well, what they want to do is get John Kemp off the floor. Kemp with the sheepish look on his face saying, that can't be me. That ball almost went in, and he had a few choice words before he left the floor. They don't want a technical foul. Malone has been struggling to get free throws to go in, and he's telling everybody, I'm all right.
Look at the numbers on Shawn Kemp. 18 points, 8 rebounds, 6 out of 8 from the field today, and a perfect 6 for 6 from the line as Karl Malone gets set to shoot 2.
But again, Shawn Kemp just gets 22 minutes today because of foul trouble, and he doesn't even get matched up against Karl Malone. Kemp has got to learn to stay in these games.
Malone now 3 of 7 from the line. The Jazz shooting just 50% from the free throw line. They're 10 for 20.
In and out for Karl Malone, 2-point ball game.
A minute and a half to play.
So it comes down to Swint and Gary Payton trying to 2-man game.
Oh, Payton, what a move down the lane. 19 for Payton, 87-83 Sonics.
No weak side rotation, no collapse.
Russell in the corner. And a whistle blows.
Illegal defense. Illegal defense.
George Karl biting his tongue on the far side. Illegal defense call.
Gary Payton turns that corner and nobody steps up. They're all staying with the screener, Sean Kemp. Can't do anything about it on the court.
Hornacek to the line. And more than just a little conversation going on between the Seattle bench and the guys in the striped shirts.
Payton made a huge shot. That ball was out of control. He was able to get it back, roll it in, and it's a three-point game.
Carr fakes once, got it. 87-86, 55 seconds to play.
Good balance, didn't panic inside, kept that pivot foot down.
Sonics looking to go up 3 games to 1. Jazz looking to pull even at 2-all. Shot clock at 5. Hawkins has to pull back. And Malone with the rebound.
No timeout. Sloan thinks they can score right now on the move.
Back up top. Malone with the feed for Carr. Out of bounds to Utah. 9 on the shot clock. 17.3 for the game. And we'll take time. Are we headed for a tight finish? You might say so. The Sonics, 87. The Jazz, 86. We'll come right back to the Delta Center in just a moment.
You followed 1,000 players here. 1,000 more will follow you. Maybe someone will listen. Maybe someone will hear. We've been working, too, on a brand new beer from Miller. Brewed a new way from the heart of the hops for big flavor that goes down easy. Brand new Miller beer. Listen to what's inside you. Then you can reach for what's out there.
You know, today would be perfect to take your kid to McDonald's.
Hello? Hi, honey.
Hi, Dad.
How about lunch?
Introducing the burger with the grown-up taste. McDonald's Arch Deluxe.
If more top mechanics use one motor oil over any other brand in their own cars and trucks, maybe it's time you changed your oil. Valvoline, the #1 choice of America's top mechanics.
The outdoors for me is church.
Somehow, at some deep level, we're responsible for what happens to us. I'm always trying to save money and invest in the future. I'm a nut about it. I mean, you're the best investment you got. You're the best investment you'll ever have. I don't know whether that's good or bad, but I like it.
It's do or die for Orlando. Facing elimination, Shaq and company must summon the magic of the arena to stay alive. For Michael Jordan and the Bulls, one more victory, and they're in the NBA Finals. The tension mounts in Game 4 of the Eastern Conference Finals, Monday at 3 Eastern on NBC.
Greg Gumbel, Steve Jones, Bill Walton, and a Storm. Back in Salt Lake City, you see the time remaining. Utah will inbound under their own basket with 9 seconds left on the shot clock. 17.3 for the game.
All the Sonics up and standing. Russell over there talking to them. What they want to do is get Hornacek free into Malone.
And batted away. Picked off by the Sonics, and the whistle blows, and the foul is called.
I can't believe they didn't go to Karl Malone there. Karl Malone has been the reason that they're here playing in this series. He's got 9 points and 6 boards in the quarter.
Well, they tried to go to Karl Malone to pass a little hot, he couldn't handle this one's going to come inside and right out of his hand. So they did what they wanted in terms of trying to get him the shot. Shrimp back at the line, trying to make it a 3-point game with 2 free throws.
5 fouls now on Karl Malone as Detlef Schrempf, who is 4 for 5 in free throws, goes to the line. They like that here in Salt Lake City.
Well, the box out is most important right here. Utah cannot afford to not get this ball should Detlef Schrempf miss.
He got 1 of 2, and Jerry Sloan wants timeout. It's a 2-point game with 12.2 to play, and we'll come right back right after this.
This is Ford Escort. Did you know that it's new? If you knew that it's new, did you know the wagon's new too? The engine is new, the suspension improved. A safety cell protects but stays out of view. It's quieter inside to shush out the out. But for those who simply must twist and shout, there's premium speakers on a new stereo, so you can get every note and get it to go. This Escort is great. This Escort is nice. This Escort has a very sensible price. So why not check out the newest Escort this season? We've given you every rhyme and rhymed every reason.
You didn't pay.
They never do.
Now Snickers is even more peanuts. Tons of them.
All right, 10 seconds left, down by 2.
Oh, boy, the game sure has changed.
Yeah, the 3-point line, no hand checking.
No, I meant the shorts. They're so long now. Whatever happened to those cute little shorts they used to wear?
Oh, look, there's John Stockton. He still wears the short shorts. Right, here comes Stockton, 3-pointer.
Yes! Oh, wait, so the game's over now? What about the shorts guys?
They'll probably interview him now.
All right. I love this game.
He's already a legend with 8 gold medals in 3 Olympics. In May, at age 34, Carl Lewis clocked his fastest 100 meters since '91. With the all-time record at 9, 2 golds in Atlanta would make Lewis history's most decorated Olympian at the Olympics on NBC.
Once again, the Utah Jazz fans to their feet as Jerry Sloan sends back onto the floor John Stockton, Karl Malone, Jeff Hornacek, Antoine Carr, and Brian Russell.
Interesting that they're taking it in backcourt, and, you know, they've got to give themselves 2 chances to tie the ball game up. 12.2 seconds. The Sonics want to make them use a lot of time in getting the ball into the front court. Stockton with the ball.
I'd say play the left side of the court.
2 to tie, 3 to win. Stockton. Shot clock down to 5. Malone fakes once. Outside. Stockton for 3. Front rim, no. Rebound, Payton. And the Sonics go up 3 games to 1. Defensive pressure all day long for the Seattle Sonics has paid off in an 88-86 win and a 3 games to 1 lead. The Sonics will have a chance to close it out at home Tuesday night here on NBC. Sam Perkins led the way with 20 points for Seattle. Hannah Storm standing by with Seattle coach George Karl. Hannah.
Well, we couldn't grab any of your players because they ran off the court so quickly into the locker room. But what was the key to this tremendous win, withstanding their comeback down the stretch?
I don't know. They made a great comeback, and we finally rebounded the ball, and Gary made great pick-and-roll stuff. I mean, it's a Utah-Seattle game. We play this way all the time, and there's almost, I think we played 10 times in the last 2 years. 7 of them come down in the last minute, so that's the way it's going to be. Take Payton.
And speaking of Gary, we got him right here. Thanks for coming back out. Listen, you guys are up 3 to 1. Are you confident you can close this out on Tuesday night? What's it going to take?
We feel good. We know they're going to come back strong. We're at home, though. Good thing we came here and got a win. We're feeling a little bit better now. We just got to go home and just take care of business at home.
You guys are a great road team and tremendous effort by you on both ends of the floor.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Greg?
All right, Hannah, 19 points for Gary Payton, 20 for Sam Perkins. The final, the Sonics 88, the Jazz 86. Join us tomorrow on NBC. The NBA playoffs continue. Game 4 of the Eastern Conference Finals between the Orlando Magic and the Chicago Bulls. That's tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern right here on NBC. We're off to Seattle for Game 5. For Bill Walton, Steve Jones, and Hannah Storm, I'm Greg Gumbel. So long from Salt Lake City. This has been a presentation of the NBA on NBC.
The NBA playoffs, the U.S. Women's Open, the French Open, the U.S. Open.
And I think we're going to do that. And I think that might be a champion.
A championship team? Perhaps. Seattle is just one win, a heartbeat away from the